Hey, this is Susan Egan, Broadway's original Belle in Beauty and the Beast and the voice of Megara in Disney's Hercules. And you're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Wonder Boys, Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Lee. And they are a real slice.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You are listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from NASCAR, New Orleans, Louisiana, United States of America. Vroom, vroom.
Go fast, Kevin.
Yeah.
Go fast.
Sorry, y'all. I had some Taco Bell for lunch. That's my fault.
That's why me and your mama met in the back of a rusty steakhouse, 75.
Lee throwing that nitrous up in there. Woo. Ooh, but look, guys, we are Artistic Buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us for this episode. We strive to determine whether or not the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary celebration has fallen flat as of late. And look, this isn't your typical polished, practiced pixie dust and Disney podcast. We are not in the parks every day trying to tell you how to best manipulate the Disney Genie.
That's right, Kevin. We're here to drink, talk Disney, but will not talk about Bruno.
No, we cannot do that. And all you pixie dusters, please just chill out, enjoy the show anyway, and stop leaving me hate mail. That's just what we do, okay? We drink and talk Disney.
My name is Kevin.
I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And Lee, and remember, you want to go see the 50? We'll get you booked in a jiffy.
Jiffy Jeff.
Nice. So, guys, look, enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go discuss some 50th celebration magic.
50 Cent over there.
Welcome to the Hub, our main topic segment of the show. For this Hub, we are discussing how Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration is going so far. And so I came up with this discussion from an episode of The Disney Dish with Len Testa and Jim Hill. And I was listening and I heard them state that they feel that the 50th anniversary celebration has fallen flat as of late. And they posed the question of when was the last time you saw a commercial for this? Also, this was a jumping off point for the discussion regarding the fact that they feel Comic Rewind, the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction, may need to open earlier than expected because Disney needs something to help them go into the summer. So that was the whole purpose of their discussion and that point of the show. So that I listened to that and I was like, that's an interesting question, you know? So to answer this question of whether or not the 50th has fallen flat, I wanted to take a scientific approach to this, where we first answer the question with our current knowledge base to establish, let's say, a hypothesis, if you will, for each of us. And then I'll ask some sub-questions and some sub-discussions about other factors that can be considered, hopefully getting more facts about this whole shebang, the whole thing that we're experiencing right now. And then at the end, after we've accumulated all this more knowledge about this, we'll answer that question again to see if your answer changes. Okay, so a little scientific method here. We'll pose a question, do some little extra research, discuss it, and then ask the question again to see if we've arrived to the same conclusion we started with.
I don't like this. This sounds like work.
Yeah, you blinded me with science.
Yeah.
I'm blind, I did.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a lot of thinking. I ain't sure for you. You just hit the intro. We drink. This ain't time for thinking and hypotheses.
Yeah,
I know,
Morgus.
but I think drinking and hypothesizing
Okay.
is a good thing.
All right.
That's where our creativity flows.
And we doing the shebang.
We're doing a shaboom.
Yeah.
Shabak.
Because when she bangs, she moves. All
And
that.
then she take a shapoopy.
La 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 shaboom.
Shaboom.
I got you.
That's right. All right, so let's begin, right?
All right.
Let's explore Jim and Len's statement about the world's most magical celebration. So based on our experiences right now with the 50th.
Jim Hill's right. That's all I know.
And there you go. Yeah.
Because you love Jim Hill.
I do love Jim Hill.
There you go.
You know, considering your feelings of it too. So here, I ask you guys a question and we can discuss real quick. Do you think the 50th anniversary has fallen flat since October 1st, 2021? What do you guys think?
I don't think it started off well in October 1st, 2021.
There you go. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like it began strong. You went into it fully knowing that you were getting less than half of what you were promised. So there wasn't even really a good opening celebration or what do you call those things? Like a
Like
I keep wanting to say
Commemoratory.
There you go.
Yeah.
That kind of thing where they sit there and they rededicate the park or something like that, or whatever they do. I thought it started flat. So I don't know that it's fallen flat since. That kind of, to me, denotes that it started off great and it's just started to peter off.
No, that's an excellent point. Eli, what do you think, sir?
Okay, so based on just everything I've experienced and seen, watched, felt, all that, right? That's
Try to divulge yourself, maybe of anything that you might have extra researched, but what your initial thought would be.
I would say that it fails as far as giving me the projection of magic. That's actually from being there, like we've just seen projections on the castle while they're singing the song with us, doesn't have that same level of innovation that you would expect. To me, it's almost like, it was like if they were asking me to invest in stock. This is like what they would tell me to say, hey, it's why you need to buy it. It's like, that's the impression I've gotten from everything I've seen and felt. So it's kind of it's kind of, I guess, flat, but kind of cold. Yeah, that's how I would look at it.
Nice. All right. And we'll toss it over to Leah, a resident travel agent. How are you feeling about all this as of this point?
Well, I will say this. From an attendance perspective, it is not falling flat. It's crazy how many people are going to Disney right now and how busy it is. And, what's supposed to be a slow season, you're seeing the parks packed and long wait times and things like that. Now, I will say that on a personal level, I was a little disappointed in what the initial celebration was, the kickoff. To Danny's point, like I was expecting it to be a huge deal that this is the 50th, and I was expecting maybe some stars to be brought in or some previous cast members or Imagineers or something to make this a big deal that this is the 50th, and I didn't get that. I feel real disappointed in the fact that it just was kind of like, hey guys, come on, buy some popcorn buckets. So on that level, personally, it has fallen flat for me. And again, the attendance thing is probably less to do with the 50th anniversary and more to do with people being locked up for 2 years. So it just happened to coincide. But it is amazing that how hard it is right now to get reservations on property for spring break and then things like that. It's busy.
Okay. And so for me, I should first say that I'll do my best to answer these questions as if I have been doing research on this for a while, since I'm kind of leading us through this discussion. And I'll try to divorce myself from that information.
That's expensive.
It is very. It is.
Half, Eddie. I want half.
But I do want to say I'm leaning heavy on you guys to see where we go with this, because I'm kind of like a tainted petri dish at this point because of all the information.
Ooh. Wait, what? How did you become a tainted petri dish?
Well, I had the virgin ears when I first heard this on the Disney Dish, and then as I was preparing for the show and putting everything together, I accumulated all this information. So I have the answer to the second time we address this question more so than this. So I have to take it back to when I was driving my car and I first heard it in the Disney Dish.
I thought it was because you and Val got into some kinky shit again.
Oh, it could be that too.
Oh, okay.
I know that sounds like a lot of tea.
I want to know what y'all up to.
Yeah.
We can talk about, we pause this and come back.
Yeah.
We'll tell us
Yeah.
how Val tainted you.
Yes.
Yeah, because that needs hypothesizing right there.
It does, yes.
Yeah,
and then you got experiments, and then you got yourself a theory. If it works.
Well, as long as you got to take
Some
theory.
penicillicizing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, to answer the question, for me, when I first heard it, I felt like, you know what? I think it has. I haven't really thought about it much since the first. But to your point, I thought about it. Yeah, it didn't really start that strong, so it didn't have that far to fall. But it did. To my ear, when I first heard it, that was my initial feeling, which is what generated me to follow this show. But that's where I feel like, I think maybe it's fallen fat a little bit. Flat.
I'm flattered.
I'm flattered, yes. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with it. Okay?
No, I could see that completely, because at least when you went there in the first, even if they didn't do a whole big ceremony, and even if a lot of the stuff that you were really looking forward to wasn't open yet, you still had Ratatouille, you still had Harmonious and Enchantment and Kite Tales and all this stuff to look forward to, and then everyone went and saw it and they were like, well, we'll do one of those again.
Yeah.
So yes, by that perspective it kind of fell flat, but to me, my expectations were already so dirt level low. But I mean, I think you have to grade this on a curve. You can't grade this by what we've got now. I mean, judging by what they dealt with to get to this point, and I'm sure this will be something that you have set to discuss. That doesn't necessarily mean that it sucks. It just means that there was a lot of external factors that influence why we're having what we're having, whereas most of these celebrations, when they commenced, everything was online. This is one of those weird cases where everything's kind of coming online little by little, slowly, but
Piece by piece, yeah, kind of thing. Yeah, you're slowly getting it.
Yeah.
in. Yeah. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Eli, do you have something to add to that?
Well, since we do a podcast and this is all we talk about, we do have it on a higher standard than, say, someone that just wants to go on a vacation, right? Like, this is what we study it. So it's a deeper thing. So, yeah, maybe we have this on a higher pedestal and expectation than what
You're
it
talking
actually...
about the 50th, when we were expecting something higher?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like you said, we've done past shows where we've compared all different types of promotions, and this one didn't really have that level. And it could have been a factor, and I'm sure, like you say, you're going to cover it, but there were other things that may have been a factor. I would think one of the promotions was, Land of 1,000 Layoffs. Probably would slow that down a little bit, But, yeah.
Yeah, no, all this is great, guys, because it leads me to my first query that we're going to explore to gather more information about this, and that is to see what was announced as happening for the 50th versus what is happening now.
So it's like what's happening versus what's happening now.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, you got older Ron, younger Ron, Raj. Who's Ron?
No, you mean Ron.
Rerun.
Oh.
And then it was Dwayne Wayne.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, wait.
There was just Dwayne.
Dwayne.
No,
I'm thinking a
different world.
Different world, yeah.
Raj was
yeah.
in both, and then he had kids, but in the other one, it was just him and his mom.
It's just his mom,
And
right?
Dee.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Shirley was in both.
Yes.
Yes.
And Martin.
I don't remember Martin.
Martin Lawrence
He was
was
probably very, very
was one
young.
of the patrons.
Yes.
Yeah, he was very young.
He was in both?
No, just now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surely you can't be serious.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what was announced versus what we got so far. And in order for me to get this information about what was announced, I had to go back to a time period starting with the 2019 D23 Expo and ending roughly on March 15th, 2020, which is when the announcement of the lockdown happened. And I chose this time period to research because everything between March 15th and October 1st, as you can imagine, was skewed due to the pandemic. So I really wanted to see what they were initially planning to do before the COVID thing blindsided us and everything, So what were they generally just planning, hoping to present for the 50th? Also, to get the information that we got, I went to Walt Disney World's website to see what they're promoting, the stuff that they actually have on the 50th anniversary page. And as a side plug, I want you guys listeners, go back and check out Magic Our Way episodes number 285 and 286 for the coverage of the D23 Parks Experiences and Products announcements. It was a very good discussion of a lot of things back in 2019 that we're still talking about, hopefully coming online in the near future now. So it was great. Also, I must say a lot of the sources that I saw stated that Disney was very vague initially about the 50th details at that time. But no one can deduce if that was even officially part of the 50th, if like things like Space 220 or if this particular attraction was supposed to be part of 50th or whatnot. So a little bit vague, but still a lot of text and things that were documented all stated they hope these things would be open by the 50th celebration.
Question, what would you consider being ready and prepped for the 50th? Because would you consider, say, Rise of Resistance opening in December of 2019, less than 2 years before the 50th? Would you consider that part of the preparation for the 50th? Because I remember Space 220. That was supposed to because Stephen Downs and us, when we were going to go over there before it got canceled because of COVID, we were going to meet up and have lunch there because it was going to be open by that point in time, but it obviously didn't end up happening. From my perspective, just to give you where I'm coming from, I would think if it opened within 2 years of the 50th, I don't see that as being a problem with saying that was kind of meant for that.
No, I would agree too. Yeah, absolutely. Because Space 220 was the same issue. It was meant to open earlier than the 50th celebration, but it was never officially meant to be part of it. But if it's open during it, then yeah, they're going to promote it during that time.
Because I've read that like Disney kind of plans that most families will take their Disney vacation once every 2 to 3 years. So I think a 2 to 3 year gap in there is more than reasonable enough to say, like, if you're coming for the 50th, yes, this is all going to be new to you.
Yeah. No, I can totally see that. And I think this thing is also in line with and we'll just talk about this when we talk about the promotions and whatnot, where the promotions for the marketing campaigns and stuff to get people to the parks are somewhat separate from the attractions that they're planning to open. And we kind of talked about that toward the end of our promotions episode 227, where we were starting to see that happen. And I'll play some of those clips a little bit later, and we're talking about it. So I think, if it was open and ready to go for the 50th, and by all means, they could totally lump that as part of the celebration because it's there and it's something new and they can promote that.
Yeah, and if it opened 5 years prior to celebration, I can see you saying, okay, well then no. But within 2 years of celebration, considering when most families go, the frequency, not avid fans obviously like us, but most people, I would say, I would consider it within 2 years of the opening. I'm sorry, within 2 years of the 50th being fair game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, to preface this part of the examination, I want to note that at the D23 Expo, Disney Parks chair Bob Chapek did make a point to say that while Walt Disney World anniversary celebrations have historically focused on the Magic Kingdom, the 50th anniversary celebration will be felt throughout the entire resort, including all 4 theme parks. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said.
Well, if he said it, by definition, it's a lie.
Yeah.
Right?
Boy, his mouths were moving.
That dude gets no level. I've never seen anything quite like it with this dude.
It's pretty rough for that guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not even talking about my own personal feelings. I'm talking about
just in general.
In general, the general
Disney fan
public
community.
reaction to it. Yeah,
it's amazing. And so one more thing to note, I wanted to say that this celebration was intended to begin sometime around May 2021, which kind of makes sense as that would have incorporated summer 2021 travel season and run for 18 months. And this is kind of like how they open attractions. They kind of open it a little bit before, make sure all the kinks are worked out. So when October 1st, 2021 is, everything's close to dang near perfect. But in this case, as we know, 50th started right on October 1st, 2021. And then for 18 months after that. So it'll go all the way until 2023. So just something to take note of as we're considering that, because, you know, as we mentioned, Space 220 opened early 2021. So it kind of would have roped into that initial idea when this thing was supposed to happen. Okay. All right. So we're going to go through the list rather quickly as far as stuff that was announced. And I'll point out which ones we do see and which ones are coming and which ones are just kind of falling by the wayside. So let's start at the Magic Kingdom. All right. First thing, castle decorations and the facelift. We got that.
Yeah.
We got the 50th. We got the new coloring and everything. So
yeah,
there you go.
I don't have a problem with the coloring of the castle or anything like that. I like the gold. It's the projections.
Yeah.
Is a little.
Yeah.
It's a little much. It's not as bad or as obvious as some, but the color palette in the well, except for my Lego castle, I'm not happy about that. But yeah, the color palette that they chose and the gold trimmings and ornamentation that they've had in the castle, man, that's beautiful. It's the
that projection
stuff.
stuff.
The projection effect stuff.
The beacon stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe that doesn't translate well to the commercials that they've had, but I've never seen that as part of their advertisement. You know, it's usually just the castle straight up with the 50 logo right in the
but
middle.
they show like it now. All of a sudden, like magic goes everywhere and it starts hitting icons and lighting them up.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't look like that in real life.
There was a few commercials. So,
I remember when we were looking at the tower when we came out, when we were down there. And I remember, Eli, you're just like, I don't like it.
Yeah. I said the same thing.
Yeah.
It was like watching one of those bad motion capture movies. It's like watching that animated Beowulf. Or Jeff Bridges in Tron Legacy playing the younger Flynn.
Oh, God.
It was like you're watching it. It's like, can we just get rid of what's on that? Because that just doesn't look natural. And see what the real thing looks like. I mean,
yeah.
It just looks so weird and unnatural.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah. All right, so we got that. I have this label as it's coming. I didn't say soon to be coming or when it's coming, but it's coming, and that's a Tron Light Cycle run.
Okay.
So I did have a question about that. Did they actually announce that we would have Tron for the 2020 celebration? I mean, for the 50th celebration? Because I couldn't find.
They mentioned that on the D23. Yes, yeah, they mentioned that. And like I said, this was at the point where it's like I feel that they separated the openings of attractions from the actual marketing campaign celebration.
Sure.
Yeah.
So if it happens to be open and they get it open in time, great. If not, then it's no big deal because they didn't promise that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't pushed.
In my mind, I thought it would be there for the 50th for sure. And then I don't know if I was thinking like, did I make that up in my mind? Was I just like hopeful that it would be there for the 50th or not? Or is it going to be still in time for the 50th? Because we still have another, year to go.
They talked about it at D23 when most of this stuff was supposed to come online for the 50th. I mean, obviously, with the old saying, you under-promise, over-deliver kind of thing. So there's always a way out. But yeah, no, I think you were justified in thinking that.
Yeah, we covered it on the. I mean, you weren't on that show to be fair, but we did cover the Tron Light Cycle run.
I'm not even bad mouthing Disney about it. I'm sure there's labor shortages and material shortages and things like that that's causing it to get pushed back. But again, in my mind, I was fully pre-pandemic. I was fully expecting it to be open by October 1st.
You wanted to ride a light cycle.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, slow down, Grimace. You'll get your chance. You just got to wait until 2020, late 2022, 2023.
It's still in the future.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, it's be there for March when I go.
They got 18 months to get this open, so you just have to go back. Who knows? So another thing that was announced at some point back in that day was, and this is now part of what is being known as Project Nugget. Have you ever heard this? Like,
no, I've not heard of Project Nugget.
That's gross.
Do you get 5 for $2 at McDonald's? Or
yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
No, it's like 5 for $5 at Wendy's. No.
That is the worst operation name.
Yeah.
Did Dr. Evil come up with that?
Dr. McDonald did.
No, the little McDonald's nuggets jumped into the sauce.
Wow.
The most like uninspiring secret project name ever.
Well, Project Nugget is like the blanket name for all the refurbishments that are supposed to be taking place that aren't happening right now. So that's what they threw it under. And so the reason why I mentioned this is because the next thing that was I read was in one article that was announced was the It's a Small World refurbishment with the new characters, including Alice, Cinderella, Rapunzel, Elsa and Anna, Olaf, Peter Pan, Wendy.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember that at all from D23.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it was there. I forget the article that I pulled this from, but I thought it was rather interesting because then I started finding other articles that had this as part of Project Nugget. So,
seeing that we've never heard of Project Nugget, this would make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, but I'll have to look it up. Maybe we'll do a show on everything that's under Project Nugget. We're going to rock out.
Yeah.
Project Nugget under that. I'd be curious I might have to research that and bring that to you guys.
I'd be curious to know how many listeners out there know of Project Nugget.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of other project names that fall underneath it. They're kind of interesting too. But
Project Whopper.
Yeah.
That one in there.
Project BK Broiler.
Yeah. Project McRib.
McWhaler.
Yeah.
Project Whaler.
Project Filet-O-Fish.
Anyway, so this is one that's in progress that will be coming completely soon, and that is the Tomorrowland Makeover. And what this consists of is a new themed area and scenes for the TTA, People Mover, with possible additions of WALL-E and The Incredibles. The Tomorrowland Speedway Facelift, which is supposedly supposed to happen, as well as the Space Mountain Facelift, including a new sign for the 50th. And this is for a lot of people that post on Instagram that take pictures in front of this thing, but they reference the purple wall.
Yep.
That looks like Lee.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Lee looks like the purple wall. So, Lee, you chimed in. You're familiar with the purple wall? I wasn't as familiar with the purple wall.
I'm familiar in that I've seen people post pictures in front of it. You know, it's like I don't even know where it is in the parks, to be honest with you, but I'm familiar with the fact that there's several photo spots throughout different places in Walt Disney World that are like that.
So it's kind of like the Morocco penis thing, but this is the purple wall.
Yes, basically.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm trying to take that over and just like take selfies with me.
Yes.
Oh.
It's not going.
Are you just going to stand in Morocco and let people take a picture of you? Oh, that's cute.
I thought you were just going to walk around the parks telling kids you were Figment. Seeing if they can get a picture with you.
You'd be the purple stump.
Put some wings on your back. Yeah.
Imagine.
Oh, nice. Now I got the visual of him as a Figment between his legs.
He's like Dreamfinder mixed with Figment.
Aw.
Yeah.
With his touch of childish delight.
Oh, my.
I'm Fig Finder.
Oh, nice.
That's right. Live the dream.
Anyway, the purple wall is going to get a new color scheme and now features several shades of purple, like Lee, in a geometric pattern. So that's
50 Shades of Purple.
That's right. 50 Shades of Purple. That's exactly right. And everybody take a pictures on Instagram for that.
Wow.
The next thing that we got is Disney Enchantment fireworks show that debuted on the 1st.
Okay.
Soon to be coming, they say, is the Walt Disney World Railroad refurbishment. And when I've read it, they're close. Okay.
I mean, it's closed, so they're definitely working on it.
Yep, it's there. So they got 18 months. They got 18-month window. The next thing is Mickey's Celebration Cavalcade. That's there now. So that's just, one of those cavalcade parades. We know how it works. It came from the COVID times. And the last new thing in Magic Kingdom is a new entrance process. They listed this, but it's a way to streamline the entrance process between various transportation methods, making it easier to get into parks. So if you're coming from like the Contemporary, you have your way of getting in. the monorail, the ferry, everything to make it a little more efficient.
They're already doing that, right? I believe.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's
you go through
that's here.
security at Contemporary, basically, or on the monorail. And it's
Yeah, if you remember, we did a story where they pushed security back further, so there wasn't such a bottleneck, and so now it makes it a little bit easier as people are going through the turnstiles and so that was all part of that. They listed that as one of the things that was going to happen to the reason for this is to accommodate the large crowds for the 50th is how they worded it.
Logistics.
Yes.
So they're supposed to get so they're supposed to get a new sign for Space Mountain. It seems like they could have did that already if they hadn't done it. Like that was an
I
easy
think
thing
that's
to do
already
real
done.
quick.
Yeah.
We got
so
the new
that's
sign
done
for
already.
Tomorrowland, right? The archway sign.
Yeah, that one's a new.
We
And
got that.
new paint job on the TTA.
Mm-hmm.
You see some of that in the spires.
I thought they did something with the with the Speedway. I wouldn't know. I never ride.
Yeah, I thought they updated the sign for Space Mountain already. I don't remember.
They might have.
They might have. That's
Yeah.
why. I mean, that's what I said. Like that seems like something that could be done already.
But all in all, I mean, in comparison to what was promised and what we got, disappointment?
No, I mean they're delivering on just about at least for Magic Kingdom. It's either there already or it's coming. Like the railway, is coming. Things like that.
I think you put it good. You would have hoped Tron would have been there. But beyond that, there's not an overwhelming sense of loss here to where I'm like, this is really, I mean, we can each talk about what we feel about Enchantment, the new show. And we can talk about, we did talk about the projection effects on the castle and whatnot. But they've either delivered on what they said they were going to do or it's coming. They're working on it. And the only thing I can think of that was promised, and I don't think it's going to be delivered, but I think they cut it off even before COVID, was that Opera House. Remember they were doing that show building that was going to be like right off to the side of Main Street?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the only thing that we were not getting, but I think they had already scrapped that before we got to COVID and whatnot. So.
Yeah, I think I left that off of this list. Same thing when we get to Epcot, I left Mary Poppins off the list because that was scratched.
Yeah.
Like long before any of this stuff happened, unfortunately. Yeah, it was like right after we covered it in D23, maybe like less than a year later. It ended up like it wasn't materializing for some reason. I forget why.
It was part of the coming attraction show when we went, and that was in December of 2019. And by March, that was when everything was shutting down, right?
Yeah. It seemed like even before then, talks were in place of it not even happening.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't remember that.
I don't know if it was at the same time as the lockdown or maybe just before, but I remember hearing, and I'll have to, I didn't research that part fully when that took place or when I started hearing it, but it was like, oh, well, damn. That kind of sucks. Because I listened to our D23 show and, that was, what it was, Danny? Is like, since you did that bathroom show, they didn't want to do any copyright issues.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh, we don't
wait
want to
10 years.
Yeah.
And then he can't sue us.
Yeah, we don't want to piss off a guy named Danny Lawless, that just evokes
fear in the hearts of man.
You'd be surprised at how much I factor into the decision making.
Yes, it does. Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, everybody feel good about MK as far as what they offered and what.
I feel great about what they've offered. I can't say I feel great in what we've been delivered.
Right.
I think Enchantment was a B-level show at best, maybe.
And what's funny about that one? I'm curious to see how it translates because at the end of July I booked Theme Park View Bay Lake Tower using my points, right? And so I'm used to they pump in the music into the room and you can see the fireworks. Well, like with all the projections and stuff, and now that you have to check out on Main Street and whatnot, I'm curious to see how that translates to if I'm seeing it from afar.
There's a couple of knocks that you can take on Enchantment, and some of it's just nitpicking nonsense. But I would say that this is Disney World's 50th. I know when Disneyland did their 50th celebration, they honored the park because that's what you're celebrating, the park. Why are we looking at a bunch of movie clips? Why are we not celebrating the attractions that helped make the park over the last 50 years?
That was built before those IPs were even made to be projected on the castle.
Exactly. I mean, that to me is the biggest fail of this. I mean, notwithstanding the fact that the show is kind of a hodgepodge of music clips without any real theme or emotion that kind of draws you through it. But
I like that you say that because I can kind of say the same thing with Harmonious when we get to Epcot.
Well, yeah, but that's them. That's Disney. Yeah. We're going to play it safe. What do they like? They like Disney music and clips.
All right, let's
give it all. Yeah,
let them have it.
Look at Fantasmic. They love that.
Yeah,
it's like making sequels. Like, yeah, well, we like that movie, but now you're on the third sequel of Saw. Maybe we don't want to watch 4 or 5 because we've seen enough of them now.
Police Academy.
Yeah, police. There, that's another one.
It's funny with Police Academy. I can figure out the formula for all that.
Even Gutenberg gave up after the third one. Gutenberg was like, "I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to go in this new Twilight Zone Tower of Terror movie.
That's gonna be a kicker, man.
That's going to launch me into the upper stratosphere of Cameo."
Awesome.
Yes.
So by that token, yes, Disney Enchantment to me was a disappointment. So I can sit here and say it's a disappointment, but did they deliver a new nighttime show? Did they put some effort into it? Yes, they did.
Yeah, did they deliver it? Back to your point, yes. So based upon what they announced and what they have delivered, definitely not disappointed. It's there. Yeah, it's happening. Whether you like it or not, it's a totally different discussion.
Almost irrelevant, but not really.
Yeah. I was gonna say the rest of it's like you said was logistics though. It's not like it needed to put on a new coat of paint, as you will, upgrade everything. That sounds like a necessary thing you have to do to wear and tear, not because you want to cheer up everybody and say, "Hey, it's our 50th year." Just like, hey, let's make sure the stuff don't break when all the body rides it after COVID is over. But it's a necessary evil is my point.
Okay, I got you. All right, let's move on to Epcot, shall we?
Moving on.
Epcot. All right. First of all, Epcot, this is coming. New entrance with a new fountain, which is in progress. That's something that they announced was supposed to happen.
The new entrance is there.
New entrance, is the fountain there?
Well, the fountain's in the... Was that the one in the back?
Well, there's supposed to be a fountain in the front that kind of evokes, it was like a little crystal thing that kind of evokes old Epcot.
The crystal thing's there.
Is it there? Okay, well then it's there then.
Crystal thing's definitely there.
So new entrance is there. Okay.
The new entrance is there. I'm struggling to remember if there's a fountain attached to it.
I mean, we got stopped when we went there. They said,
I
go
was
back.
distracted by all the walls, so I didn't even notice what the entrance looked like.
We had a cast member stop us and said, no, you got to go this way now. So
it was so weird to look at without seeing various slabs of granite jutting out.
Just jutting, yeah.
Yeah. But no, they were there. But what's not there is that the back.
The water, the Moana thing.
Well, no, not in Moana. The Dreamer's Point area with Walt.
Yeah.
The statue of Walt was going to be sitting there, kind of behind Spaceship Earth, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be back
That's not there yet, but I'm pretty damn sure that I know the damn structure's there. I can't remember if the.
I don't remember when it was there. When I was there, I just don't remember. It was like I walked in, and then before you know it, I was like past the ball, and I don't know. I just didn't notice it. I noticed the granites weren't there, but I didn't notice. Like a fountain, I guess. I have no idea.
Well, that's my thing. Yeah, I know it was there. I just don't know if it was fountainized. I'd be lying if I don't remember there being a fountain there, but it very well could have.
So I'll mark it as like it's there, somewhat there, maybe there.
Definitely there. Maybe not waterized.
Maybe not complete. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And then the next one is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which we know is there.
Made.
That one made it, which is a lot of
right on time, October 1st.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good.
Real long line.
Like we made it.
This one I have marked down as not arrived, and that's the redesign of the Spaceship Earth experience. The ride itself is supposed to be getting a new story and everything else. If you
that's right. You're right. That yes, they were changing the whole story around. But I think a lot of Disney fans are kind of like went when they didn't touch it. Yeah, but yes, you're right. They were supposed to be moving away from communication into.
I forget what we covered it, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
exactly
there was a
what it was supposed
storytelling.
to be. Storytelling.
Storytelling was what it was going to be. No, we have not got that. That's a good call. I forgot about that.
Yep. And so another thing that's not arriving at the moment is the 4 neighborhoods that we covered on D23. World Showcase, which is already there, right? But it's supposed to be joined by World Celebration, World Nature, and World Discovery. The redesign of the areas of Epcot.
It's like the 4 families.
Well, it's coming. I guess there's walls every 5 feet, so something's going on behind all those walls.
I'm curious about that is how they're going to delineate the different areas. Like, how do I know I'm in World Nature versus World Celebration versus World Discovery?
I thought it was going to be color coded.
Well, that's on the map.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, when they did that'd be cool if they did that in real life. Like if I walked into a land with a different color, like in Magic Kingdom, and you're in different lands, you could tell. Is that going to be the same thing when they do these neighborhoods?
I would think so. I mean, I think there's going to be certain visual cues that
I would hope so.
Yeah, why wouldn't there be? I mean, it makes sense.
I'd be curious. So the neighborhoods, there you go. Awesome Planet, Over the Land. Is that movie? Which Lee, you and I saw that. Yep.
Awesome.
Exactly. Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Captain Planet, right?
No, that's right up there with Wondrous China and
Indigenous
the new Indigenous China and the new French movie and all that kind of stuff.
That would have been cool if they would have got a Captain Planet like 3D animation kind of movie, like update Captain Planet.
I would like that.
That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Fire, water, earth. Hey, Captain Planet. He cuts the mullet though, right?
Oh yeah, you got to get rid of the mullet.
Yeah,
you got to
okay.
update Captain Planet.
Because green mullet they ain't working now.
You don't like the mullet?
Not by the
Mullets are
taste.
back.
Business
man.
in the
Watch
front,
out.
party in the rear?
Well, I guess Tiger King brought it back a little bit, but still, that's Captain Planet. You want a mullet representing
Planet
Earth?
King.
All right.
Yeah.
Planet King.
No, you don't want that. You don't want, all right. All right, so this one's coming, as we know, because we've been hearing news about it. And then Jim Hill and them, they talked about this, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. You know, hopefully they open it up sooner than that to help with the summer vacation
Summer is
push.
that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, and I read somewhere that it's supposed to soft open sometime in the very near future, like in March or something for testing and whatever.
But I mean, they're kind of saying like they're fast tracking it. When was it originally scheduled to open? Because I thought it was supposed to open again on time with the 50th, and it just got delayed. I mean, I don't know when it was. I mean, what are they trying to say? It was like supposed to open in the fall instead or something?
Well, when we covered it, we had mentioned that when we covered it on the D23 show, we mentioned it was supposed to be part of the 50th, not in exactly time. So they have 18 months to get this done within that. And even in that 50th video that they have on D+, they mentioned as this one of the things that's supposed to happen during this time. So I don't know if it was, I would have guessed it was supposed to have been last year, maybe even over the summer in preparation for the first. That's my guess based upon stuff. But yes, just to your point, yeah, exactly. It just like a lot of everything else, it did get pushed behind.
I'm fine with that personally because as a Marvel guy, they need to really take their time perfecting that land as best as possible. We got good rep in the movies.
No, that's
but
fair. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll take that hit.
Well, it's not even a land; it's just an attraction.
Yeah, it's an attraction, but you know what I'm saying? They don't have anything else really
Knock it out of the park.
going. Yeah, so take your time.
I tell you, I'm more excited to see that than
Oh, I
Tron.
am too, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
curious.
mean,
to
I
see how
like
this-
Tron the movie, but I'm pretty excited about this one, especially with the coaster technology that they've been showing.
That's exactly it. I
Yeah.
feel like I've kind of seen what the light cycle is, and it's like, all right, cool.
It's a roller coaster.
Well, it is what it
Kinda
is.
like Hagrid.
Yeah.
It's a regular roller coaster.
I'm going to be uncomfortable, but I'm going to be going fast.
I mean, if they master that technology, I
Yeah.
think of a good
This
ride
one-
system for that.
I'm not sure what to expect, except that we're not going to get animatronics like I hope we would have. But
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's a controlled spin coaster.
yeah,
So it's not like they have coasters that do spin, but that's just letting gravity do its work.
it's like
This one,
Gringotts, right?
yeah, it kind of points you where you want to look.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like their dark ride mixed with a coaster ride system. So I'm very curious about this and excited. So hopefully by the end of July it'll be open and I can do a report on this.
It'd been cool if they'd have made it a Captain America shield that they'd have put you in, and you could have like hit objects while spinning around.
Scooting around, that would be cute. Yeah.
But I dream. I dare
There you
dream.
go.
Ant-Man shrinks you,
There you go.
sits you on a shield, and says, "Cap, can you throw these people?"
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And all the villains are right there. But there you go. I'm
I like
dreaming.
that. Throw me.
Yeah. Throw me.
All right, so this next one is not slated anytime soon. Maybe not even for the 50th, and that's the Play Pavilion.
No, that's not. Wait, I heard Play Pavilion was still opening in 2022.
I've read that they haven't mentioned the exact date anymore.
Well, no,
So,
maybe
yeah.
they have not done that, but I heard it was still expected to open in 2022.
Well, that'd be great.
It would be great, but like the problem with something like the Play Pavilion is that it's obviously it's going to feature whatever technology we're currently using. If you wait too long, by the time you open it, your technology is going to have been outdated. So
They have to update it again, yeah.
Wow,
They need it. Yeah, I haven't read anything, and it's not in the 50th video either, as far as anything definitive as when this is supposed to open.
interesting.
And that's the same
Okay.
thing as the festival center. It's the same thing. We mentioned it. We covered it on D23 thing. I haven't heard anything as of late as far as when it's supposed to open. It's supposed to open maybe outside of the 18 months. Who knows? And if you remember, the festival center is that multi-level structure for viewings of Harmonious.
Well,
and all that
that's
kind of
gone.
stuff. Yeah.
I heard. Like we're not even.
Oh, did you
doing
really?
that. Yeah, I heard that they're not even going forth with that. Like it's like, yeah, screw that. We're not.
Wait, scratch it off the
just
list.
Done.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I
Like
heard.
they did with Mary Poppins. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I heard, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could be right too. I hadn't seen anything to the fact whether they are or not.
Well, with the response to Harmonious, I mean, do we really need a 3-level structure to watch it?
I don't know. It was. I also wondered, like, was Harmonious designed to cater to those people in the festival center? Would it have been better from the festival center than any vantage point?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, because I don't like the views for Harmonious right now either.
But
Like,
that
you
shouldn't be a
gotta
factor, though, right?
No, I get it, but like maybe that's why it's so lame, or part of the reason why it's so lame because it's built for this other thing that's not going to not going to happen now.
Yeah, that's a fair critique, though. It's a 3-part thing, not the building, but in order to enjoy it, you have fireworks, music, and then
You have an
everything else that's
unobstructed
going
view
on.
because of this 3 structured thing.
Right.
Yeah, but no
So-
matter where that, I mean, like, you're going to still be further away than what you would have if you would have been up against the railing of the lagoon and watching it from there. You would have had a closer vantage point than what you would have from this 3-tiered tower of.
Would it have been easier, though, to see the experience better as one part?
You talk about the whole thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm-
Yeah, but maybe it looks smaller and not as impressive. I don't know. I mean,
we may never
perhaps.
know.
Well, we'll never know. It's scratched out, but
But
I
it definitely was. That was part of the intention. Was that when it was being built, you could check out Harmonious from there.
yeah, I could see that being a selling point. But yeah,
Yeah, so there's that. And the next one we know we got is Space 220, that restaurant.
which y'all love so much.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I can't speak on that one.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I was listening to our D23 show, and I remember we were all excited for it.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
That, hoping that this would happen, this happened, and
Well, we were excited until we found out it was one of those. Yeah, no, this isn't really a Disney restaurant. It's one of those, crappy.
when we got to the menu show and we reviewed the menu, then it was like,
Spaghetti in space, come on.
Mm-hmm.
that's funny. Yeah.
Space Spaghetti, come on.
Just devil's advocate.
Okay.
It's one of those deals where it's like, I will probably never go back there again. Okay, I've had it. I tried it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this isn't as great as I thought as it was made out to be. It's about where I thought it was going to be. But I still made reservations for both my kids to go check it out when we go in March. Because I feel like it's one of those things like a Cinderella's Castle deal where it's like, you kind of got to do it once.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to say you did it, and it's like, okay, it's I don't know. On the travel agent side, it's hard for me to not mention it to a client because then they're going to come back and be like, wait a minute, they didn't tell you about Space 220? What kind of travel agent do you have? It's the newest restaurant, and it's like, yeah, I want to let you know about this.
It's my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Dad.
But it's just a weird situation, man, because it's like the food's not great. Even the experience is okay, but everyone's talking about it and everyone wants to do it, and it's a hard reservation to get, and it's just like,
Well, because it sounds cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
It should
exactly.
be cool rather than what it
Kind
is.
of just gotta. And I told someone basically that, like, blah blah blah. It's not, the food's not great. As well, we figured we're gonna have at least one crappy dining experience while at Disney, so I guess that one will be it.
Oh no, there's plenty more of those.
Yeah.
But they took it. They're like, okay, well, but I wanted to let them know, like, this is not going to be the greatest dining experience you've ever had, but you're going to kind of kick yourself if you don't at least go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Magic Kingdom. There's not that many great restaurants for dining at Magic Kingdom. I mean, so you get to Epcot, and maybe 3 or 4 I can name off the top of my head, and I'd be like, yeah, those are really great. But like Coral Reef, food over there is nothing spectacular. It used to be better than what it is, but it's just basically you go there for the view. You go
Just
there
like Space 220, yeah.
exactly, and so I don't know. I kind of look at it. It kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah,
I don't know, though. dude.
I wouldn't book it. Like in my dream show, I'm not booking it, yeah.
These restaurants are on Earth. This was supposed to be in a whole nother stratosphere. I mean, there's higher expectations when there's zero gravity at the restaurant.
Yeah, but my expectations is what's the view. I could give a damn less. I'll find something. I'll get a hamburger. Give me give me the space burger.
Give me the space burger.
Now, I'll book Steakhouse 71 over this.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Steakhouse 71 is like a fine dining restaurant, though.
Yeah, I'd rather
Is that
spend
what-
my time than wasting a reservation on 220, I think.
Well, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
So is Space 220 fine dining prices?
No, and I think we established this.
It kind of is.
I'm sorry. You're right. It's fine dining prices, but is it fine dining? Is it fine dining?
Is it
No.
a fine
not
dining
at all.
experience?
Yeah.
Like a dinner at, say, Coral Reef, which we just talked about, and Space 220, you're saying Space 220 is way more expensive.
I spent, I think, $10 more for my meal at Topolino's.
You spent $10
And that was
more to
I
eat
spent
at
$10 more to eat at Topolino's than Space 220, and it is amazing food, ambiance.
That's a fine
Service.
dining restaurant, though.
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
I paid basically the same price.
But a
That's all
$10
it
difference
comes
in an entree is pretty remarkable, right?
But
So-
you're weighing that against the experience. If it's fine dining, then that's worth it versus 220.
Right.
I
Exactly.
was going to
Is
say
that what you're doing?
$10.
Basically.
I mean, $10
That's all
make
I'm
you
saying. It's
holla.
like, I could have spent $10 more on eating at Topolino's and had a much better meal much better service. And if you want to talk about the view, I could have seen the show, the fireworks at Epcot if I got the right dining reservation. So for $10 more.
I'm saying $10 for an entree, an extra $10. That's a big difference.
For an experience you don't like?
No, I'm not talking about experience. I'm talking about upcharging in terms of hey, here's a $15 burger as opposed to, here's a $25, I don't know,
beef tip burger.
Steak, surf and turf.
Wagyu burger.
Right.
Yeah.
Mahi mahi.
Dinosaur.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, but if it's that, I thought you would say it was the same thing, but then it got a $10 upcharge because you were in space or something at this restaurant.
Yeah, I'm
And
just
I was
trying to
like,
figure
okay.
out whether or not Space 220 is another low-level restaurant and charges like a low-level restaurant, but obviously with that Disney price. It's like, again, if what they're charging is on line with what, I don't know, Garden Grill is charging or what Coral Reef is charging, then okay, no problem. If what they're charging is in line with what, say, not Tepanito, what's the name of that, the Japanese
Tokyo Dining, or
I'm not even sure it's open, but let's say
the sushi place, the Epcot.
well, no, not sushi.
The new one.
The new
The new one.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, me either.
If I heard it, I'll be like, yeah, that's it.
I always blank on it, but
Yeah.
let's say what's the name of the Canadian steakhouse?
Le Cellier.
Le Cellier.
Cellier. If it's online with Le Cellier, then okay, then we got a problem.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we definitely got that. One thing we haven't gotten yet, could make it within 18, maybe not, more than likely not, is the Journey of Water, which is Moana, which is supposed to happen in World Nature.
That just sounds boring.
Yep. It's funny. You said the same thing on the D23 show.
I know. It's just like, I could care less. I mean, like, I'll go see it, and hopefully it will amaze me. And I'm sure atmosphere-wise, it'll be great, and it's got to be just as good as what you walked around before. So I'm game, but I'm not exactly like,
It's not show stopping. Yeah,
gotta see it.
I booked that trip so I could see Water Journey.
Yeah, where's Water's Journey?
I want to see Playful Liquid.
You better bring Steve Perry or something. I need some journey in my water.
I already work at Journeys. I don't need to see Water Journeys.
I took a shower this morning. That's the only Journey of Water I know.
Eli's like, here's your Playful Liquid orange juice.
There you go. You could get that for free.
That's post Playful Liquid.
There you go. That's upcharge for that.
So there's that one that was mentioned.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
next two we've gotten, and that's Le Crêperie de Paris, and it's a little quick service cousin, Crêpes d'Emporter, and Harmonious. So those two things are in existence.
So the line for Le Crêpe it was always too long, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things too. And so when I go back, hopefully I get a chance to give it a shot.
And you mentioned Ratatouille as
mentioned
well.
Ratatouille,
And-
and the last thing was Harmonious. Yeah.
Ratatouille's fine. It's not amazing, but it's
Cool
fine.
tech for what it is.
It's great for what it is, and just don't expect to have your mind blown. But it's a nice attraction, a nice addition. We needed more of that in the World Showcase. Harmonious.
Yeah, we've kind of touched upon this, and
Monius.
I can't say I'm terribly excited about it.
I'll give them credit for this. They put some money into that thing. They put some serious money into that show, but somehow, despite the big, giant floating TV screens and the Stargate and the fountains and the laser rays,
I heard someone call them floating tacos the other day, and that's all I could think of.
there you go.
Floating tacos.
Despite the floating tacos and the Stargate and all that stuff like that, they still managed to create a show that has 1/10 of the heart of Illumination.
Yes, indeed.
Man, that's saying a lot. That's big time. Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can't beat the classics.
I mean, it's like Enchantment. It's not terrible, but it's nothing special and memorable. I'm not even sure what the theme is supposed to be. Like just that simple theme of Illuminations, we go on.
It permeated through the entire show.
Exactly.
It was beautiful.
And then that was a message of unity that no matter where you're from, we go on and we're gonna make this place a better place and go together. I mean, here it's like, hey, we just want y'all to know we make a lot of movies here at Disney from a lot of different places that maybe a lot of different people live.
Yeah.
And we're going to show
we're
you
doing
every
languages,
one
yeah.
of them. Like Africa, we made Lion King. That's completely what Africa
Here's a song in their language. Here we go.
Right.
There you go. We native.
Right. And let's sing it in the language. But I mean, there's no original song in there that I'm aware of.
It's a jukebox show. It's like you turn on a jukebox with a bunch of Disney tunes, and that's what you get.
Jukebox show.
Yeah, I mean, they have Broadway shows called jukebox shows, where they do a lot of pop, like ABBA. I forget the name of the show. Mamma Mia is a jukebox show.
Okay.
They use like all the pop tunes, and so this is essentially what Harmonious is like a jukebox show.
Yeah, all right. I had no
Greatest hits of Disney, and here it is.
I like that. I like that term.
Yeah.
I never had heard that phrase like that. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jersey Boys is a jukebox show. But anyway, sorry, go
Box
ahead.
show.
Yeah,
I just don't understand why not upgrade Illuminations. Why not give Illuminations a little more pizzazz? Do that. You got something people like. I mean,
that moved me. Illumination,
yeah. Right.
It could bring me to tears if I wasn't a man.
I watched it online before
Harmonious.
when it opened
Okay.
up, and then when we met up with y'all, Eli and I were going to go that night and watch it, and y'all were like, "It sucked. Don't do it." And so we didn't. And I watched it again before the show, and just to kind of prep for it. And yeah, it's just
Not feeling it, huh? You're not
No,
feeling it?
there's just nothing in that just makes me say, like, wow, why couldn't we another one of these? Really, another music and clip show? Like, you had something unique. You had something that really was its own thing, and you just threw it away just to do this. I mean, now they could always bring it back. And
I mean, it would have been great if they upgraded Illuminations and made the globe bigger so you could see it from wherever you are in the lagoon.
sure,
That would have been great.
Wow.
made the globe
Probably
bigger.
about half the price of those barges.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, been
Just
called
make it bigger, but-
Mormonious.
Jeez.
But I mean, like, yeah, like after I saw it like the last time, I went back and I watched the Illuminations. It was like, let me compare and contrast. And the difference is like you get choked up watching Illuminations.
Oh yeah, no, the hairs on the back of my head stand, and I feel a tickle, and it's like,
Yes.
I love this
Yeah.
show.
Well, again, that's about magic.
Oh, yeah, it's about connection.
Yeah.
Yes.
Having that art connect with the audience. All right, so to bring it to a close on this park.
One more thing though,
All right.
those beacon of lights on those little points of light
Oh,
on
on the Spaceship Earth, yeah.
that I think was magnificent. I
that-
really do think.
That's probably the
Yeah.
best one out of all of them.
Yeah, like we can complain about Tower of Terror and whatnot. That was really, really well done. I like, and I think from what it sounds like, they're keeping that, right?
Oh, they should keep that one out of all four. I think that's the one they keep.
Yeah,
Has to be. I mean, it's beautiful.
And was that one of the announcements that they were going to do that, or is it just something we got extra bonus?
No, it is. I had that later on. I lumped it all into one together. But yeah, the Beacons of Magic were part of all this. Yeah, and they promoted on the website for the 50th, and we knew something like that was going to happen. But before, they didn't really say when. But they debuted it on the 1st.
so that home run.
Yeah, no, that thing's great. So with everything that they promised in Epcot versus what they delivered, how do y'all feel about it? Just on that alone.
I just, I'm not the biggest Epcot person anyway. So right now, with everything we got, Ratatouille is great. I'm glad we got that. And as you said, the beacons on Spaceship Earth, that's great. Everything else, I mean, again, did they deliver? I guess. But it's hard to say they delivered when like half of the park is closed because one of the things they have to deliver on is still being built, and who knows when it's going to get finished. That's my issue right now. Is like you're mad. I'm sure it'll be great when it's done. But if it's not done by the 50th, then it doesn't count for the 50th, and you basically destroyed the whole park, and you can't get around anywhere. It's like walking in a rat maze to get anywhere. And so it just, to me, I don't know. I'm not a huge Epcot fan anyway, but now especially, it's like, I'll go back when it's done.
That's a good point. I mean, yeah, Epcot is destroyed. There's no question about it.
And maybe that's biased. Maybe that's not answering the question in the scientific terms that we're supposed to be doing it in. If you take a list of everything they got, but I still feel like so far of the two parks, it's the least delivered.
Like, I'm cool with saying we're going to give them a 3-year window to get this right because
And they
of
do.
COVID. And if they get it right and it opens up by, early 2023, I will be fine with it. But if this kind of lingers on and on, and it's not done more sooner than later, then I'm going to have a problem with it. I got to give them credit for the fact that they had a vision, they communicated that vision, they went out to execute it, and then they lost their shirt. I mean, they took a huge dip in revenue, they took a huge loss.
Unforced. Yeah.
Unforced. And so, yeah, exactly. I want to ding him for it too, because yes, Epcot is a disaster. But I don't know, it's like failing a kid for getting COVID. It's like you got to understand that they weren't in school because of this, that, and the other, and there's extenuating circumstances. So I don't know. Considering the fact that we got the beacons, the beacons. I keep saying beacons. It's
Beacons of Magic. Yeah. It's definitely the Beacons of Magic.
So you seen we got that from the Spaceship Earth. The redone storytelling thing, that would have been interesting. I would have liked to have seen that. It's a kind of a bummer I hadn't heard much on that. But I think they made the right call in saying, you know what, let's keep that going because we got enough stuff beyond that. Yeah, that's gone. Getting Ratatouille in there is important.
Yeah, the potential of Cosmic Rewind, which is supposed to be coming very, very soon.
Exactly.
That seems more than likely than a lot of other stuff.
I feel like you gotta give them a passing grade.
B-, huh?
Yeah, P-. I mean, look, yeah, Play Pavilion kind of dragged it down a little bit because I would have thought that would have been one of the easier ones to open. But I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of technology involved in that they have to work out and whatnot. But yeah, I would still give them a passing grade for the most part. I mean, they're doing what they can.
Yeah.
No worries.
You know, to piggyback on that, I agree with you. If I had to judge them right now, I would say they overpromised but underdelivered. But you do have to give them a pass based upon what's been going on. And if they are able to do it even within the 18 months, if more of these things, not say all of it, if more of these things open up, then I think they come out all right. You know, it's not as immediate as the Magic Kingdom, but it has the potential to be.
Well, and Epcot was the most ambitious.
Oh, it was the biggest one.
Of
that was the
everything
most
they were doing.
Drastic out of all the parks.
Exactly.
Because we're going to talk about the next two parks, and it's going to be very, very quick. But this was the most drastic out of all of them. That was going to be undergoing a cocoon-like evolution, as opposed to all the other ones.
This is like the mall where they, instead of just like remodeling it, they just say screw it. They tear it down to the ground and they build a new one.
Right.
Yeah.
So like maybe give them a little slack for that.
Yeah. Like to that point. Now, if they get it together and by 2023 everything opens that's supposed to open, we get Cosmic Rewind, we get Journey of Water. Epcot doesn't look like a demilitarized zone. And everything is looking great. And then they say, well, screw it. We're not going to do the new Spaceship Earth, and we're never going to circle back to Mary Poppins ever again. And, we're not going to see another pavilion. If they don't do that, then I might be a little disappointed.
Yeah. I feel like Mary Poppins is going to be one of those things we talk about 10 years from now, and like we talk about Beastly Kingdom.
So it almost sounds like we could table this for maybe a year and a half and revisit this topic.
Right.
And see how they do. So but I want to get Eli a chance to, what are your thoughts on this? What they announced versus what they delivered?
I was going to say, I'd have to give it a curve based on the size of the scope, because they wanted pretty much, like you said,
it was
recreate the whole thing. And that's I can't see that taking a year. Whether, I don't know the amount of manpower that takes, but I'm sure it's a ton. Lot. So, now what they've made, it's like más o menos, right? But at least they were able to say, hey, we delivered it, give us a chance. So, but I would give them an extra year extension just for the scope of what they're doing. And I agree. If they put all that hoopla in there.
Hoopla!
Yeah. And like, I got to think about the stuff where they make concept art.
I know you, yeah.
I believe concept art is like someone telling you, they need to borrow money from you so they could pay you back when their income tax refund comes in. Like, it's not a guarantee,
For investment purposes.
Yeah.
This is what will happen.
So don't, I don't.
Ignore Beastly Kingdom.
Yeah, you didn't see this. You didn't see this.
That never happened.
I don't, I'm with you. I would want to give them an extra year, though, of an extension because of the scope of the project.
Starting from October 1st, 2021, they got 18 months.
And if they don't do it by that, somebody needs to get their salary cut, because that's too much hype to build up to just say, sorry guys, we'll just tear the wall down and we'll just.
Well, they're not just gonna tear the wall down.
No, you know what I'm saying.
Look at holes in the ground.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Mr.
Like,
Chapek, tear down
the
wall.
We quit. We give up. Yeah. But the scope of what it is, I'm just saying, I really hope they can make that happen. I'm rooting for.
They can make that.
They can make it. Yeah. All right, let's move on to Hollywood Studios. Kirk's favorite park.
Oh, boy.
This will be very quick, but this is what they're promoting on the website. All of these things I'm about to mention have already arrived, and they're here, and they're using it for promotions for the 50th. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Along with that, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run and Star Wars Rise of the Resistance.
One of those is an A+.
Knockout.
Yeah. Enough to carry the other ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. So that's definitely one they're promoting. And, we've talked about, the awesomeness of Rise of the Resistance. And I look forward to taking my kids on that. And I look forward to hearing Lee on it.
Yeah. Galaxy's Edge as a land, I think, is a D. I maybe a C-.
I would say I'd give it a C-, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I would say that, but I wouldn't. I mean, again, I think I'm being generous in lumping Rise of the Resistance in with the 50th. Bringing in Galaxy's Edge and Smuggler's Run, I think no, that was beforehand.
Well, Smuggler's Run was before. definitely
Longest run was
before.
definitely before with the opening
The fifth-
Galaxy's
yeah.
Edge,
Yeah.
and then this. But it goes back to my point where I think they split the openings of attractions with the celebration promotion campaigns now. And so if it happens to be open, we're going to promote it as part of this now. So they've involved it. So that makes sense.
Well, I mean, they also are promoting it in conjunction with Galactic Star Cruiser.
Star Cruiser, yeah.
So
Right. I was just gonna say. I mean, I know that's not in the park, but it's kind of adjacent.
Adjacent,
Yeah.
Park adjacent. I guess.
It's park adjacent. Yeah, park adjacent. Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I could also say, I'll say the last thing that's on this list, and that's Mickey's Minnie's Runaway Railway. That opened
Homer.
before, yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah.
one.
Beautiful.
Opened before the 50th happened, but I'm sure by the date it was supposed to open, it was going to be part of the initial early opening of the 50th.
it was like March 2020.
and May was when it was originally supposed to happen, so it was close enough.
Yeah.
And now it's a great attraction.
Yes.
I
really
like the
great
attraction.
There's like one lull in the attraction that I can be like, well, they could have done something here a little bit better. But no, that was amazing. And I'll wait till we're at the end of this to make this point.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
So you
But
got
as
us caught
as
up.
far as I know, that's the only things that they're promoting on the website for Hollywood Studios.
Well, that and the stupid beacon of light thing.
Well,
for that.
the beacon light, the Tower of Terror
That's
thing. Yeah, I put
got
that.
off.
I loved everywhere else just because.
Speaking of
Yeah.
that,
But those are the main things. So as far as delivered, versus what they promised,
They've delivered what they promised.
Yeah.
it's 100%. There you go. There it is.
And I believe Phantasmic is supposed to be reopening in 2022.
That'd be great. A return from COVID. So that'll even add to the awesomeness.
yeah, pretty solid
Cool.
stuff.
Everybody in agreement? That's pretty cool. They're good with that.
Very,
Good?
very cool.
Yeah,
Very
I'm
cool.
cool with that. Wait, wasn't there a new restaurant they're supposed to be opening in Hollywood Studios too?
Oh, there's the barbecue restaurant.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
And is
In
that's
Toy Story.
coming on? That's coming on.
It's still coming on. I just saw an article about it recently, so I would be surprised if it doesn't open up relatively
Yeah, it
soon.
was never said
Yeah.
when. So,
So-
I'm like,
Yeah.
More than likely in that 50th time
Yeah.
frame.
hopefully
Should
yeah.
be in there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So we got that, and then Animal Kingdom.
This is where
So they said, "Oh, we're going to celebrate in all the parks, but mostly not Animal
Mostly
Kingdom."
not Animal Kingdom, yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the only thing that I found that was announced for Animal Kingdom, and we have it, is Disney's Kite Tales.
I wish we didn't.
I mean, I can't think of anything else that was
what
supposed to be.
The
Did the
beacon
tree-
of light, yeah.
Yeah. they did
Pandora
that.
opened way long before all this, so they can't really lump it in.
All
But
right.
You're right.
they're definitely on the website, on the Disney 50th website. They do have Kite Tales listed.
I remember watching the beacon of light thing happening with Eli and just being like, what is happening? Like, I see
Oh, in the
purple
tree? Yeah.
lights
Yeah.
and moving, and like, now everyone's sitting around filming it, and we're like, really?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
It's kind of underwhelming. Yeah, no, Animal Kingdom definitely got shortchanged.
big time.
Mhm.
Big time.
Yeah, and the reasons that I read is because the other park, especially Epcot, needed the most work. So they reallocated a lot of resources to helping that park, which we can see.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
They're 100%
Still.
right.
But still, if you're going to promote the fact, if JPEX is to say it's going to be felt in all four parks, other than the food, I didn't get to the food part yet, but we know there's some food items there that are of the 50th that are in those different restaurants. As far as anything new, like Kite Tales.
Technically, he's right. Kite Tales was felt. It wasn't a
It
good
was
feeling.
Where'd you feel it? I didn't feel it in my plums at all.
I was so ready to
It's
see
so
where he was
avoiding my
going.
plums. I don't even know what's going on.
Oh man, you got to check your plums.
Oh,
That's it might be something else going on.
Well, you feel it when Baloo crashes into you.
Oh.
yeah.
I like Dave Matthews, yeah.
No.
Crash into me.
Baloo. Oh yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know how they did that show. I don't know how they did the test
I wish you
run.
were there to see us watch this thing.
That's
Burning in the sun. We're like, what the hell?
yeah.
I don't know how they did a test run and was like, we need to run forward with this. Like on the very first test run, you would have thought they would have been like, yeah, this sounded better than what it's going to turn out to be. Let's not do this. Let's redefine this, or let's redesign it in some kind of a way. And no.
Maybe they will, because they're probably like, well, we're out of time. We got to put up something for the 50th. This is what we're going to roll with. I mean, they've got time to. Do you think they would? Okay, let's just hypothetically. Would they have time in the next 18 months to do something with Dino, whatever the.
What does it?
What's dinosaur?
Oh, Dinoland USA.
Yeah, I was
USA.
gonna say yeah.
We were doing all that.
Wait, what do you want to do? Yeah, to me, that was addition by subtraction when they got rid of Primeval Whirl.
Right. So, and they haven't done anything or planned anything in my knowledge to do anything over there. It's like stroller parking right now.
Yeah, there was nothing
That's all it
announced.
is.
I could tell you that.
fine with it. It's better as a stroller parking lot.
But like you would think this would have been the time for them to take advantage and just say, okay, well, the fans have spoken. Let's redo Dinoland USA, and that would have been, Epcot it basically.
I was gonna say, what fan spoke?
I don't want them to redo Dinoland USA. I like some of I like the Boneyard.
I like
Dinosaur. I mean, it's just Chester and Hester's that's the eyesore.
Well, maybe that's more specific than Chester, the Chester and Hester area.
Well, it's a big area too in that land.
Now, to Lee's point, if you wanted to take what Primeval Whirl was, or just bulldoze Chester and Hester's completely and do the excavator, that roller coaster dinosaur type of thing, where you're going through this boneyard area and there's all these little things that are made to look like mechanic dinosaurs and whatnot, that would be fine. I'd be cool with that, but I don't want to see that land go away.
Yeah, okay, so that's a more specific way to put it. Like, if they could just re-theme and still have a dinosaur area.
I know, I think that'd be great. All right, so as far as delivery, we can't deny that they delivered what they promised because there wasn't really much that they promised, but it's here.
No, wait.
Do you think?
Kite-Tails was a disaster.
I was going to say, that's like someone just turning in any homework assignment they possibly could.
See, they were hoping to slide that under the door and just let it go.
Yeah.
But you're not letting them do that.
It was like the Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark version of a Disney attraction where the only reason you show up is to see what kite lands in the audience. This week.
Damn. He brought up Turn Up the Dark.
That's what it represents to me.
I'm Spider-Man.
In fact, why not do that on the lagoon? Spider-Man lagoon. Why not on the lagoon do a Moana boat show kind of thing?
There's your Journey of Water.
Exactly. You didn't even need the whole Epcot thing. You could have done that right on the water there. Maybe the Kakamora attack. Maybe it's because
when the Kakamora attacks, you could squirt the audience because it's so hot.
Yeah, they're shooting coconuts at people.
Yeah.
Some of them
coconut water.
Yeah, some of them make them to the audience. And people are like, man, it's like Zulu. Where you're catching the coconuts.
But they can't throw them anymore.
No. You got to hand them.
hand it to them.
Well, you can soften it up a little bit before you have to toss it.
All right, so there's Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
All right, guys, so let's talk about everything else in the world, as Birnbaum calls it. And some of this stuff we already touched upon, and a lot of these things they've already delivered, some of these things they haven't. So the first thing that they are currently delivering on, if not completely, and I'll explain what I mean by that, is the 50 golden Disney character statues.
Love it.
All through around the park. Yeah, isn't that great?
Very cool,
yes.
very cool.
And I just saw an article where they're installing the interactive stuff now. So that should be ready in time for the summer travel season.
Okay.
I wonder if you have to have the new Magic Bands.
I believe I remember that you have to have the new Magic Bands. That's correct.
Yeah.
For it to work.
I'm sure it does stuff with it when you touch it or get near it or something.
So I'm excited. I like seeing those little statues. I even like the little statues in Disneyland around the hub. Yeah. When we were there, I thought those were great. And now that we have stuff like that here, and I'm sure it's not just going to go away after the 50th.
No.
I'm sure that's good. I hope it stays around because I think that's a cool little aesthetic.
I can imagine it going away because that's like they did a similar thing with the 50th celebration, but it was in Disneyland. But they had 50 hidden Mickeys around the park or something like that. You had to find.
And that went away, right?
And I'm pretty sure that went away.
I just think this is such a cool little thing.
It is. It's like a little scavenger hunt.
Yeah, where to find them, and it's like you find them, and there they are. It's like, oh my god!
And it's definitely reminiscent of the happiest celebration on Earth because they used to have the characters on the castle, these golden figures of these castles, and I thought that to me was the coolest version of the castle ever. I remember being there in person, taking pictures, and I just did not want to leave the castle, and that's just not like me. So
yeah, it's funny that one of the clips that I pulled from one of the promotion shows is you saying that. So we'll revisit that on another show.
Oh wow!
So,
hey, how about that? I'm consistent.
Yes, you are.
You got to give me that.
Very true.
Well, I would hope they would stay though, because I think this would be a thing where you would walk around the parks 10 years from now and be like, yes, this. I remember 10 years ago when they put these statues in. I was here for the 50th anniversary, and this was such a cool thing. I'm glad they kept them, and they could have little plaques on there commemorating that date.
I like them. I hope they stay. I can to Danny's point, I can understand that they may go away. But I'd be very sad. Away. But I'd like for them to hang around. But yeah, they delivered on it. They announced it. It was great. Okay,
beautiful.
The next thing, of course, the logo. There's what they announced. So the 50th logo. That won't stay eventually, but they did deliver on the logo.
Mhm.
So there it is.
Very basic, but
Yeah, pretty basic. It's got the 50, nothing big.
just 50.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to say.
And then this next one they delivered on that we kind of touched upon through all the different parks is the Beacons of Magic lighting package for the Castle, Spaceship Earth, Tower Terror, and Tree of Life.
3 of those can go. I'm happy with one staying.
And I guarantee you one of those will stay.
Yes, and that I'm 100% fine with.
Yeah.
If we walk away with just that
I think that's the best one out of all 4 of them. Everybody raves about Spaceship Earth's Beacon of Magic lighting package.
maybe if they figure out a way to kind of dial back the castle or dial back the studios or the tree, so that way it doesn't look like you're looking at an icon that has a large. It's basically they're using the icon as a large projection TV screen.
You know, I was just about to say that the Spaceship Earth one's the only one that is not that. I mean, this is a bunch of individual LED lights that change color all over that ball that they installed. And it's not a projection. I mean, the most egregious one to me is the Tower of Terror one. I mean, that looks completely different.
It looks so phony.
Yeah. It looks I remember coming out of Rock and Roller Coaster, I'm like,
where's somewhere behind that video image is a Tower of Terror. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, and I remember Kirk saying, like, "Yeah, you're supposed to see people dancing and stuff." I'm like, "Let's see Jack."
Yeah, ain't
I
nobody.
don't know what's going on.
Out of here.
It looks unnatural.
This ain't
It does.
Toontown.
It does.
Again, it's like I can't. It's like the motion capture stuff that when you see it, where it's bad CGI or something, where it's,
the face ain't right.
Yeah. All right, and so the next one that's been promised, that's been kind of consistent with other promotions, is that the characters, the Fab Five and some extras, have their what they call iridescent coloring costumes for the birthday celebration, for the 50th
Those are
celebration.
cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, when are we getting back to when you can take pictures with them? I mean, at the point where you're jamming people in the hub to watch fireworks shows and stuff like that, clearly this isn't a COVID safety issue anymore.
That's a
right?
great point. That's a
excellent
great point.
Yeah.
Well, I would hope soon because they're already starting to add the meet and greets that are back to the Genie Plus as, you know, little fast passes or whatever. So they're starting to get back to normal in that situation. So hopefully soon.
I would hope so because, I mean, yeah, if you're going to Disney for the 50th, I would think, okay, cool, the characters are in a costume, but isn't that part of the allure to get a picture with the characters?
A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Exactly.
And so, Lee, since you mentioned it, I know you're going to Disney World more recent than I am, and you're going to experience Disney Genie. Are you getting Disney Genie and are able to talk about it on the show?
100%.
That's another thing for the 50th.
Yeah,
but,
that's exactly what I was going to use as a transition. So another thing that they did was one of the apps, the Disney Genie, is what they brought online, which was talked about. We talked about it on the D23, and it's in existence now.
and people don't like it, apparently.
I don't know. I've honestly, I think it's maybe not 50-50, but it's very split. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Danny, you will not like the fact that you don't have to, but to maximize it, you need to get up at 7:00 in the morning to start doing stuff with it.
No, sir.
you're not gonna like
He ain't afraid of that.
No. That's why I book with a travel agent.
Yeah.
Because if my travel agent ain't willing to get up at 7 in the morning like Rachel Roberge,
Well, he'll eat that space 220 for you.
Wait, tell me, can you do that face again?
Do that for you.
no.
Tell him you ain't afraid. You ain't afraid to
Come
get up
on.
there early. You get up before the chickens and the farms, right?
You don't have to book my 3 fast passes in advance anymore. So
Yeah, we used to have to get up. Yeah, but see, that was a one-time deal where you had to get up in one day and do it. Now you got to get up, 6 days, 5 days or whatever?
No. I don't need you to get up 6 days. Just the lightning lane stuff. You know, like just for Rise of Resistance and I don't give a damn about Expedition Everest.
What, Runaway Wearaway?
Runaway Wearaway.
Remy.
That'd be another
Maybe
one.
Remy.
I would want that. Remy.
Would you pay for
yeah.
Remy?
Yeah, I'd pay for Remy. Well, I'd pay for my family to see Remy.
I was going to say, yeah, you know, yeah.
Exactly.
I wouldn't
yeah.
pay. Now that I've
But
seen it.
my point was going to be that I think your level of like or dislike to that does have some correlation with how prepared you are to use it.
Well, I will say that your level of being booked as a travel agent is going to be greatly influenced.
Wow.
Not just by me, by a lot of people as to whether or not you are willing to get up at 7 in the morning while we're on vacation and book those trips for those fast passes or lightning lanes or whatever the hell, so you don't have to get up, right?
No hassle, Vika. No hassle, Vika.
No hassle.
No hassle, Vika.
Now hassle.
That's right.
Not a hassle.
You got to get up early if you want to eat late. No hassle, Vika. No hassle, Vika.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Hasselbeck. Throw the ball. Throw the dang ball.
That's right.
Yeah. Get up early. I like it. That's another challenge. Lee, you could beat that. I was your hype man before. You could do it.
Also, look, even if I did have to get up on my own, I had to do that crap in Disneyland.
Disneyland. That's what I said. I know you're not.
Remember that we covered that on the show?
I
You
did it
that.
before.
I know
went
you're
right-
not afraid to do it.
I've got no issues going back to bed. I looked at it, I'm like, I did good.
And we applauded him like Alice the Wall the whole day.
Yeah, that's right.
I told everybody like, thank this man.
That California time is tough though, because that's like getting up at 4 a.m.
It is.
Oh yeah,
You're right. Yeah.
that's why I couldn't do it.
All right, so we talked about Disney Genie. Let's talk about some resorts that were announced that were supposed to come online. One of which hasn't been announced. We don't know what's going to happen with this one. But this is Reflections, a Disney Lakeside Lodge, which was supposed to be a DVC property, which was supposed to have a Princess and the Frog themed restaurant.
I totally forgot about this.
You remember that? It's supposed to have the tree houses.
I remember having this conversation, but I totally forgot about
I remember
that.
Reflections. I don't remember there being a Princess and the Frog themed restaurant.
Yeah, that was a big thing. They're going to have this thing. And the other thing was supposed to be a treetop like lodge house thing that you could get to, room, and the Princess and the Frog themed restaurant.
That seems stupid. Like, why not do the Princess and the Frog over at Port Orleans?
And it's funny, when we talked about it, you said the exact same thing. That's exactly, and it makes sense.
He's
it makes
consistent.
sense. I mean, why are they doing it there? I mean, I'm great for another DVC property.
I'm so proud of Past Me.
You gonna get up at 7:00 in the morning, thank yourself.
Good job, Past Me.
And in a future show, you'll hear a lot of past you because it's
Past
great.
you.
It's good stuff. But yeah, that one, and I've read some sources say that it may not open in time for the 50th. But one could deduce that with the crowds that they're expecting, the extra accommodations would have helped had they not had the lockdown and everything else. That they probably could have gotten this online and quicker than the Halcyon, which is the next one I was going to mention, to help out with the crowds of the 50th. If it wasn't for everything that was going on.
But I was going to say, refresh my memory, wasn't the theming pretty much almost online with Wilderness Lodge?
Yes. It was
Where it
going
was
to be
like-
very, very similar.
It was going to be very similar, but it was going to be like the artist point of Wilderness Lodge, where it's like,
With tree houses complete. And things.
right,
Yes.
where it's like, this is nature, but this is how artists are inspired by nature, or something to that effect. I could be
A
mistaken.
lakeside
Maybe
lodge.
Past Me will let me know.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
if
so,
you
yeah.
go listen to yourself and then write yourself a comment, say good job to yourself later.
Leave it on the board
that.
so you can discover it in the future.
Next week,
Yeah.
Kevin said, we got an article. We got an email from Danny.
This is
Good job,
Future Danny.
Past Danny.
Future Danny, yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Dear
I like
future
that.
Danny.
Yes.
First of all, you look great. Second of all, everything you said to this point is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about your diet.
That's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so reflections, nothing's been said as far as what's coming online, but it was something that was announced.
Okay. No big whoop there. I
Big
don't
whoop there,
ain't
yeah,
worried
okay.
about that. I mean, shoot, they can barely. It took them long enough just to get other hotels open.
Yeah, a resort's a resort.
Speaking of which, the one that I'm about to talk about is one that's on the website for the 50th, and one that was announced back at D23, and one that's been constantly talked about in the years in between, and that is Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
Take your time on this one, future, past, present, Danny.
All I'll say to that is that there are a lot of sick people in this world right now that, for whatever reason, have it in for this hotel. And I'm not saying that this hotel is going to be great. I'm not saying it's going to suck. I'm just saying, like, I've heard things that make me hesitant. I've heard things that I'm like, okay, that seems pretty cool. But there are just people out there that are just touching themselves a little too much.
Oh, wow.
Over the idea of this being a colossal failure. It's a little spooky.
It's
Oh,
wild.
wow.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's something we've stated before is like, I'm never one to judge something until I've experienced it. And I will still hold to that fact. One day, whenever it opens, I will stay there at some point in the future beyond. Maybe when the 18-month 50th, it may not be, but I'll save money to see what happens. And I'll reserve my judgment for then. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only fair way to do it.
It's the only fair way to do it, but I'll take anecdotal evidence in terms of people who have actually stayed there, experienced it, and walked away.
I can see that with people that we trust for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
100%, because I mean, yeah, if I've got money to spend, I like Star Wars. I'm not the Star Wars fan I was when I was younger, but I'm not looking to crap on people who are Star Wars fans who really do want to do this. And there's just a group of people out there for whatever reason are just dead set on just all over.
That the Star Wars fans that you're reading?
No. These aren't. Well, some of them may be Star Wars fans. I don't know. I'm just
they're looking for anything to jump on to freaking just tear the sucker down.
And yeah, I'm not trying to even give any of these people publicity.
No, I'm sorry.
Listen, we're not pixie dusters, so we're not just coming at it like that either. We're just being honest with the opinions.
Oh, sure. If it sucks, I'll be more. And look, we've talked about it, and I'm like, oh, that sounds crappy. That sounds all right. That sounds okay. I'm intrigued, but like, there's nuances to this.
Proof in the pudding, Space 220. I mean, we first started very excited about it, and then as we learned more about it, our opinions changed. Much like, who knows, maybe with the 50th falling flat idea, it may change with all this new information. Who knows? Those are the two resorts that have been discussed as far as coming online for sure. And then let's transition to Disney Springs, and the only thing mentioned there that is supposed to be coming within the 18 months is Cirque du Soleil Drawn to Life, which is the new show is supposed to center around the theme of animation, in which the daughter of an animator goes on a magical journey through animated worlds.
I've never been into Cirque du Soleil.
I was going to say, how does that story work with Cirque du Soleil?
Well, that's the thing. It's a combination of Disney Imagineering, Disney, and Cirque du Soleil to bring this story to life.
Because they ain't nothing but like high-flying, domineering stuff.
Well, they do a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah, that's bondage.
If I make it to Disney Springs, there's a lot of other things I'm going to want to see before I want to sit through a show like Cirque du Soleil.
Pay for a show like that.
Yeah.
I want a bowl.
Having said that, I don't want to crap on anybody who's that's their thing. They've seen a million of these shows. I've never seen one of them because anytime I've ever seen clips, I've just never. I don't get it. I didn't like the real circus, let alone the Soleil circus.
You like when the guy jumped on the thing and flipped? No, okay.
No.
I mean, I can see if this was because it's in an auditorium of some sort.
Yeah, they have Cirque du Soleil has a special auditorium in Disney Springs. Yeah.
I didn't like Finding Nemo the musical. I'm not really one to just kind of sit still and
while experiencing something like that.
Unless it's the Adventurers Club and I've got a drink in my hand.
Drinking your hand makes anything work well. This is true. I would say, though, maybe that would have a little more hype on if it was in an open area where, I could just kind of see it. Because, I would be kind of worried about paying for a show that I know what Cirque du Soleil is, all jokes aside, but
never going to happen.
Yeah, I'd be kind of leery on that. But hey, okay, well,
Not hating.
Yeah, if they'll deliver, you a Cirque du Soleil fan, hey, more power to you. Let us know what you think of it.
I would see it, as y'all know, I'm part of that world.
You like that?
Well, I mean, I like Cirque du Soleil. I can't say that I see it often because it's not just opportunity to see it, but I would give it a shot. I saw La Nuba once, and that was about it. But I would give this one a shot only because Disney Imagineering is involved. So I'm curious to see how they do it. And I do like some of the shows that they do on the Disney cruise ship line. And those are a lot of fun to me. I like the technology and the way they do those things. So those are really cool.
Wait, there's Cirque du Soleil. I can't even say.
Well, there's not Cirque shows, but the way they do shows is pretty good on the cruise line.
Okay.
I thought they're neat.
That's going to be a big area.
Because allegedly, knock on wood, we'll be going on a cruise in April.
What?
Allegedly.
Wait, Lee, is this true?
No, it's not true.
Oh.
It's a legend.
Alleged true.
We'll see what happens.
I mean,
many things can take
it's
place.
there. We have a reservation number. We have.
That's exciting.
Plans.
Wait, time out. This is great.
That's right.
Danny doesn't want to jinx
That's
it.
right.
so
man.
If future Danny.
That's right, Mr. McGiblets. Don't jinx it.
Mr. McGiblets.
Don't do that, Mr. What did you just say?
It's giblets.
Don't jinx it for me.
Mr.
'cause-
McNugget.
Why
Don't
is
do
he-
that.
Why is he giblets? That's awesome.
I didn't know where that came from.
You never seen the league? You never seen the
No.
league? Oh,
Okay. I've seen
Google
it.
search Mr. McGiblets.
Okay, I'll look that up.
From the league.
Oh,
And you'll see why I said
Mr.
it.
McGiblets. That's awesome. I'm just thinking of giblets like I'd pull out of a
Oh,
turkey and stuff. But that's hilarious.
Yeah, anyway, it's not my thing, so it's not really something I'm going to spend my time to go ahead and do. I just saw it.
Stop.
I'm afraid. Okay, well, so then my last question then was, so you say they have technology, so like you say, like maybe they have some crazy background behind them that's Disney oriented.
Well, yeah, it's the way
they
they transition scenes and the lighting and the way they do the crafting of the story within that confined space. So it's a way to make it how they, because I mean, on the cruise ship, the theater, and hopefully Danny gets to see this, is like it's a small theater. It's not huge, but the way they make it look bigger than it is, the technology and all that artistry comes to play, I think is pretty cool.
Well, I hope you get to see that.
Yeah.
I hope you get to see that. Maybe I'll learn something.
I mean, look, there's shows for Cirque du Soleil that have come near here that we could have gone to go see, and we just always say,
All right, so a couple of things left. We have, as far as buying things, of course, you know Disney's going to have this. And both of this stuff is here. We have the 50th anniversary merchandise all over the place.
That's how that worked out.
Plus, we have the 50th anniversary food all over the place. So, like Walt's chili, Walt's hash, all different kinds of things all over.
You know, there's
the
so
place.
much to admire about Walt Disney, but I don't know that his diet was one of the things that we
Well,
need
definitely
to
not
be.
a smoking habit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they should have brought back. They should have had candy cigarettes.
Exactly.
Walt's?
Walt Disney candy cigarettes.
Just call it Walt's. The cigarettes. Walt's the cigarettes. All right. So buying wise, we got that stuff. And the last thing that they've offered it's on the website and they've delivered on it is through the Disney Institute. The Disney Institute is offering an on-demand course called 50 Years of Magical Learnings from Walt Disney World Resort that offers professionals and Disney fans the unique opportunity to take a peek behind the scenes and uncover business lessons from 50 years of making magic in Florida.
What, they already doing that?
Yeah, don't we have 2 cockerels that do that already?
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But it's not packaged in the cockerel world as the 50 Years of magical learning.
So wait,
How many cocks?
do you want to roll? As many as you
How many
need.
cockerels?
Take your time, because Future Daddy is cracking up at this one.
He is.
No, but these cockerels are big.
Yeah. These cockerels come with
These
it.
guys are.
And it warms the cockles of the
the
cockerel.
cockerels.
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are impressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that like on Masterclass? How do you do that?
No, it's through it's like Masterclass, but it's through the Disney Institute. The Disney Institute, if y'all aren't familiar with, is you can do all these online classes. You can do them in-person classes for it's catered to business professionals, you know. And this is something actually I've been looking into kind of doing.
But Lee and Dan Cockerell both do that, and they were both in charge.
Exactly, yeah. And they deliver the same product, but now it's packaged under the Disney 50th anniversary package, where you can get the same information through the cockerels. Well, I think.
I think the information you get from the cockerels is a little bit more
Sound.
untouched.
Yeah.
But
Honest.
Yes, honest.
Yes.
Straightforward.
Wow.
Straightforward, honest.
Yeah. Because they've been doing that for years.
But they have it promoted on the 50th website. That's definitely one of the things that they're offering, and they've delivered.
Okay.
I do like you reminding us, and Disney reminding us that the Disney Institute is still somewhat alive and well.
It's alive and well in the online education universe. Yeah, I'm familiar with that just because a lot of the work that I do is business related. So it's like these are things that I could do for continuing education, as they call it.
Okay, but this is simple. I mean, I'm no multi-millionaire or anything, but this is easy. There's stuff going. I will surprise you.
Oh, I thought you were.
Damn.
I thought you were a baller, Holla.
Oh, no.
How do you think we're paying for the setup? We keep putting your credit card.
I know.
Oh, well, I signed it as your name. It's
Oh,
okay.
I was gonna say thank you. Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
My name is Hannah Ivory.
Your credit's good, too. It's really good. I'm buying a Maserati in the bar.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess the secret is buy IP, then buy more IP, and when you think you're done, keep buying IP. Yeah, there you go. I just saved you some money. There you go. Ivory Institute. Sign up for it. There you go.
Yeah.
There's such classes as sleeping late.
That's a
And then
master
if
class.
you want, you can sign up to our advanced class, sleeping later.
Oh, he's got maximize your snoring.
Right.
That's it. Yes, there is that. And there's also, orange juice while you love. That's a very
Oh yeah.
particular
Orange
class.
juice for love. Yeah, I like that one.
Why
think
big
about it.
women offer the most loving. Another one.
That's it.
And lift your car out of a ditch.
That's right. You mock it, but you never know until she's there to save you.
Came in handy.
That's it. Helped you
Proof,
out.
yes.
Helped you out.
But as far as everything else in the world, and back to the question of what they promised and what they delivered, how do y'all feel about this?
Well, you knew they were going to have plenty of merchandise and plenty of food, and anything that you have to pay for, that was not going to come late. So that was all on time and ready to go. Now, of course, the food is easy, right? And I think the Cirque du Soleil thing should be pretty soon. I remember seeing an email about that about a month ago or so from Disney, like maybe even tickets are available or
The
something.
thing that held them up was the furlough of the entertainers, which happened with Disney too. So now that they're slowly coming back online with the Broadway tours going on track and everything back online, that should be coming back soon. Because that was almost close to being in production just before the pandemic. Yeah.
Well, when your merchandise is so tight that people are selling drawings of it on eBay for $300. You're doing something right.
That's how we was able to afford the credit card.
Yes.
Or Hannah, that is, could afford the credit card.
That was a really terrible drawing of Figment.
Yeah. But
Good
she
job.
made it work. We sold
job,
it
Ivy.
for what you needed. There you
did.
go.
You did good.
That's going to be on my next master class, Ivy Institute.
Yeah, look, Disney should offer that on a credit card where they superimpose that picture.
Yeah.
That crap.
Everybody's got imagination.
Right.
What's on your wallet?
Yeah.
Well, so guys, look, there's what we have presented with as far as what we got versus what we were promised with the 50th anniversary. So there we go, the 18-month celebration.
Yeah, I wish it would have been a little bit more like, what was the celebration day with Lights Motor Action came over, and was that the
Year of a Million Dreams?
Year of a Million, I think that's what it was, where they actually gave you, again, dishes that were inspired by attractions. And so, like, one of the things we had, like, we went to Brown Derby, they had, like, a Lights Motor Action, like, where it had, like, a wheel that was made of chocolate with little skid marks behind it and the little text. So, I mean,
You know what, Danny?
again,
Past Danny, I have a clip of that, you talking about
Oh,
that
well, you
for the next show. Yeah.
I'm not going to even talk anymore. Just play past Danny.
I was going to say,
Yeah, I was like, it's like you said.
You
the
don't
exact
even
same
need
thing. It was
me.
great.
is this a
No.
game show where, like, that you set this up for? Like, did Danny say this or did he not
No,
say
this
it?
is a tease for the next show where we're going to incorporate those parameters.
Hey, past Danny. 6th grade math sucks. Don't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Don't do it.
All right, so to round this show out, I once again want to explore Jim and Len's statement about the world's most magical celebration falling flat. So what do you guys think? Do you think the 50th anniversary, based upon the information we talked about now, specifically the things that were promised versus what has been delivered, do you think that has fallen flat? Has it changed your hypothesis as of this show? And I say this show because we're going to have other parameters we're going to explore in future shows in a little bit. But what do you guys think? Whoever wants to go first. Did this alter your hypothesis?
I still think it's still a little disappointing. Did they give us what they said they were going to give us after seeing the evidence? Yes, but this is definitely it's an under-promised, but it's not over-delivered. I don't know. I mean, did they give us what they said they were going to give us? Sure, absolutely. There's a couple things, and again, you can give them some slack on because of COVID and things like that. But I mean, this is the 50th anniversary, man. I mean, the 50th, dude. Like, we're not going to live to see the 100th.
If I could back up, so what you're saying is like all of us are. I mean, I know you're there.
I was going to say, he's almost 100.
I mean, all of us are turning 50 years old. There's no doubt that you can see that in the future. So you're saying, regardless of what has happened up until then, the 50th is going to be Walt Disney World is going to turn 50 regardless. You're hoping for something better, regardless of what the situation is as it happens. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I mean, this is not a scientific explanation. This is just an opinion, but it's like, man, I don't feel like
it's an informed opinion. I want to back
excited.
up. I'll give yourself a little more credit. I think it's an informed opinion based upon what we've talked about today.
I'm going to have a follow-up question for you, Kevin, on this.
Okay.
Before you make your decision, future, past, present, Danny?
No, I don't. He'll tell me I already asked this question.
Exactly. He's already got you recorded. He already knows your answer. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I mean, Lee, were you done?
I think so. I mean, I'll just preface that by saying maybe I have some unrealistic expectations for what it is and what it should be. But, when you look at some of the promotions they've done in the past where they were giving away, free rooms and free trips or whatever, I mean, they were like doing all kinds of cool stuff. I felt like they said, well, it's the 50th. We don't really have to try that hard because everyone's going to come anyway and everyone's going to just, give us their money. So we don't have to really do that much to keep everyone happy. And I think they could have done more. That's all I'm saying.
No, he's right about that.
Yeah.
That is one aspect that all great celebrations had in common, was that there was always that element of, there was one celebration you walked in, you could have won a Chevrolet, like, convertible or something like that. I can't remember what it was. There was a Million Dreams. Obviously, the Dream Squad was running around doing things. There were other things where, like characters come off the float and award you with something. Like, there was always that sense of, hey, come here, and hey, while you're here, you just might win something really kind of cool.
We got something my last day. With that, we didn't get like a free fast pass.
Y'all did, but y'all had to leave. Y'all were on the process of leaving that park that day.
And we gave it to someone else.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
you were able, and that's the thing. You were able to make
Past
magic.
Eli
with somebody
said
else.
that?
Yeah, but both of y'all said that.
He's
Past-
haunting you too.
Past both of y'all said
He
that.
always
actually,
haunted me, though. You know how that went.
But you like it.
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Past Eli somewhere in the corner going, Colleen.
I'm still broke.
Can't you see what I mean?
Get out of here.
All right, Danny, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
What was that saying?
That is the promotion of like the Years of a Million Dreams, where you had something that
Yeah.
was
There was
involved.
always that sense of that they were always giving something away, and so that made it a little bit more fun, a little bit more spontaneous. To Lee's point, but again, I just don't know. Disneyland was closed for like what, a year, maybe more.
Yeah.
Disney World was closed for months, maybe 5 or 6. I mean, the cruise lines down, movies weren't going to theaters. I mean, that's just a ton of stuff to get hit by. I feel like I would be a real jerk if I said that, man, y'all under-delivered with everything where y'all are still actively to this moment working to deliver something. Having said that, yeah, this led into my question for you, Kev. And if y'all want to answer it as well, y'all could.
Sure.
To me, this represents the best. Maybe I should ask this as a question first, but I just gave away my answer.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah,
Like,
that's a
is
question.
this the best celebration under the Bob Iger era? Because this is it. Bob's gone. This celebration, to me, even though Chapek's presiding over it, was planned under the Iger era. To me, every celebration that passed Michael Eisner, I think the first thing they did was a Year of a Million Dreams, where they gave stuff away. But really nothing of note that I could think of really opened during those times. Is this one of the best celebrations that you've ever seen opened under the Iger era?
Yeah, I want to answer that because, I did the research on our shows when we did the past promotions, and I did the research on the promotions since then from 2019 to 2020. And I will say, based upon what we did on the review on that retrospective that you did, so even if they were able to deliver on everything they promised, it would have been the best. But even with the stuff that they're doing now, I think is comparable to a lot of the stuff they have done before. Now, the only difference is, like Year of a Million Dreams, with the ride openings, they were able to link that to the celebration. We're going to find on a different show, when I talk about those past retrospectives and the trends that we're going to in that next query, as far as has Disney's 50th gone flat, that I feel like maybe this is par for the course, where they are not tying openings of attractions to the marketing campaign celebration. But even still, just regardless of that, I still think this is probably the best one on the Iger era so far.
I would agree, and I'm not really one to give Iger a ton of credit, but credit is.
But you have to
earned
give
here.
credit where credit is true. No,
Because
you're absolutely right.
At the end of the day, within a 3-year period, we're going to have gotten Rise of Resistance, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Tron, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratatouille. That's just off the top of my head. I'm sure there's other ones that y'all are thinking of that I'm not. That's 5 e-ticket attractions right there.
Kite Tails. Sorry.
Well, no, I ain't gonna put that in there. But 5 e-ticket attractions within a 3-year period is not something that this company has been known for since the Michael Eisner era, where you would open entire theme parks or water parks or whatever. You have not seen that under this company in a long time. So
It's very holistic.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything is like attractions, food, resorts. Everything is being addressed under this one umbrella.
all right, so credit where credit is due. I mean, he knew he was going out, and he decided to go out with a bang, and I'll be damned if he didn't. I mean, did some of the stuff fall flat and it was a little too safe and a little too... Yes, absolutely. But some of the stuff was good. And in this day and age, it's all you can ask for.
Yeah, okay. Anybody else? What are your thoughts on this? The question again, based upon everything we've discussed so far, has your hypothesis changed since we first started this show based upon what was announced versus what we're given? Do you think the 50th has fallen flat?
I still say that was very informative, what you did, first off. That was very informative.
It's just the beginning, too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's what we always tell each other. I think, though, I still feel that it still has that detachment, like I said before. But after kind of going through everything, I was like, well, maybe, again, this is a 50th, and that's how we're judging it as adults. But I guess the real question would be, if I was a kid and this was like the first time I saw Disney, would that be my experience? And I'd be like, wow, like I wouldn't really care about the construction or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the scope of what they're doing or trying to do or attempt to do, and like Daddy said before with COVID, Lee just said it, everything else that they were going through, the scope of it is really what makes the difference here.
You know, it's funny you say that because I asked my middle daughter, my Lily. I mean, we watched a 50th commercial together, and we'll talk about this in a future show, but we watched a 50th commercial. I'm like, does this make you want to go to Disney World? And she's like, well, I want to go to Disney World anyway.
Regardless, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, so you mean,
Mark it.
regardless if this is the 50th anniversary, you still want to go to Disney World? It's like, yeah, because I like it. It's like, oh, okay. So it doesn't matter the fact that it's the 50th anniversary.
Okay.
Like, okay. She's like, no. It's like, okay, interesting.
Even the shitty ones they were doing in 2014 and 20, like, hey, give a day.
Get a Disney day. Yeah.
I'm like, done and done. Anything and everything it made me want to go to Disney. It doesn't take much. I can tell you that.
It shouldn't. But yeah, I guess that was the thing, though. We were approaching it, like you said, scientifically as an adult,
Yeah, we got to go with the facts as they're presented.
Yeah. And, but look, I still think it went flat because of what they wanted to do. But at the same time, yeah, they hit on some cylinders, but it's like, they hit like a good solid, let's say a good solid 5 that were really complex.
5 out of what? Like 5 out of 5? 5 out of 10?
No.
Or?
Yeah, I give that like a 5 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you're they're halfway there. That's big.
That feels like what they've done and what we just went through, I would say.
If you're giving them 50%, that's a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, with the exception of Epcot, because of what they want to create.
On that scale, I might give them 80, maybe 85.
I would.
Yeah. I wouldn't go as far as 90. I don't know. What do you think, Danny? Like on a scale out of 10, I wouldn't give them 90%. I'd give them
70%.
Yeah,
I would go say
I'd say 70, at the most 85, but that's it. That's it. No higher.
Mm-hmm.
So he 20% high. That's still not. Yeah.
You gave him 50 though.
50 means you could take it or leave it. I would take what they've done.
We're not picking on you. I'm just saying that.
I can feel picked on.
No, Eli, I love you. No, I feel like this is an interesting perspective on that because you said 5 out of 10 because that's big though.
I would if I was a Disney fan and I hadn't been to Disney in 3 years and like I can't wait until 2023 because whatever.
That's when they ended the 18 months.
Right.
Okay.
And then now you're getting everything that they could possibly deliver. If I'm walking in there and I've got Ratatouille and I've got Rise of Resistance and I've got Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and I've got Guardians of the Galaxy Rewind and all that stuff, if I've got that plus I get to give my own take on Harmonious, I get to give my own take on Enchantment, I get my own take on Kite Tales, I suppose. I get to see these beacons for myself. I get to try these different treats that they've made. I get to, search a park for these statues and what. I think they've given you enough reason to go back.
Okay, but now some of that is completed, and some of it still due and having a great amount of curve is not finished, right? So
sure, but there's a lot of other celebrations they've done in the past where it's like, okay, we're closing this one out, but they always left you with a little preview of what's to come. Now, Grant. This was all done under Michael Eisner, where it was a little bit more ambitious.
So do you mesh? I mean, it's all under one umbrella, but it's different leadership for each one. But most of those promotions were like, hey, look, boom, boom, boom. You're happy. You're beating characters. It's about the magic. This is more like, hey, this is about development, still trying to follow a dream, still trying to incorporate new things that we see is happening in this new millennium. At least that's the impression I'm getting. And so everything is expanding. And then therefore in expanding, you can't really say, well, this is what I'm hoping to get. This is what I already got. So that's why
this is interesting. I think within these parameters, maybe that's how you feel, and that's great.
Yeah,
I think when we get to the next show where we talk about, and I'm going to tease the next show, it's like the next show I'm going to say, is this just par for the course with Disney promotions? If I ask that question, it's like maybe he might change.
Let's say you get laid off of work.
That's happened before.
Yes, you get laid off of work.
Yeah.
You meet a girl.
That's happened before.
Hi, I'm Eli Avery. I'm unemployed.
Yeah.
Do you want her to judge you by your potential or where you're at this very moment because of circumstances beyond your control, because the company folded or whatever?
That's a personal question to me as an individual.
And I like how personal that is. All of a sudden.
I've had this happen. Okay,
You know,
so
it's funny because like, do you judge yourself on who I am now versus how I handle the situation?
And that you've got a pretty good track record, and within 2 to 3 years, this is the man you're going to be.
And listen, this is very appropriate to what's happening now with the Disney company. So
that's fair. I mean, no,
Well, let's say she hadn't
stay
just-
with us on this, listeners.
Let's say she hadn't just met you. Let's say it's a long-term relationship, and all of a sudden you get laid off, and you're like, yeah, we got to cut back, baby. We can't. No more dinners out every night. No more, going to the club. No more nothing.
Yeah, I've lived
we got to
this.
cut back.
Okay.
And you can only do so much. Do you want her to judge you by what you're going to be in 2 to 3 years? Or do you want her to, knowing that you just took a hit that was not your fault? Or do you want her to judge you by the potential?
I did take the hit consideration, but okay. So in this particular light, and without going into actual real life events that happened, I always want the person that saw me when I was, in my prime to remember that, right? And then do the stick. But at the same time, if I'm telling said girl that I've met, whether I've lost a job or not, if I tell her, look, girl, I'm on the way to like doing these huge big things. Here are the plans. Here are the people that are going to help me make the plans.
Okay, and you've gotten that.
I've gotten some of that.
No. You've gotten that from Disney, and you just said 50%.
No, I haven't gotten all that from Disney.
Kevin, has he gotten all that?
Yes.
Thank you.
We just went through some. We got some that's on the way, but
You got Moana coming.
No, to be honest, it's like you got 75% of everything that they have announced.
Yes.
So there's maybe 25% that they have either is coming or hasn't been declared with falling within the 18 months.
And you're well aware of what they're still building and what they've moved away from.
right based on concept art and whatnot.
So I'll give them 75%.
They've delivered to the 70-75% range, and you're well aware of what's to come. And you said 50%.
Yeah,
You're already out.
already out.
You could be in, you could be out.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's your,
That's fair.
okay. I'm just saying.
That's
fair.
fine. I'm curious because I think that's a very interesting take.
Because I still have to experience the other 20-some%.
Well,
Just be that understanding when somebody judges you at your lowest.
I have. That has happened to me. That's why I'm here talking single.
Okay.
Dan, I'm giving the benefit.
That has happened to me.
He's not on the Disney level that fandom that we
still
are.
create.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a creative, but that's interesting because, as lack for a better word, as a layperson, that's how you perceive it.
Well, that's fair.
Based upon what we've given so far, right?
It's the Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately?
Okay,
I was gonna say the Justin Timberlake.
That's totally.
Okay.
That's a totally fair critique. That's a totally fair critique because I would.
No, I mean all this is
I've
great,
seen-
Eli. And I don't want to diminish anything you've said, but this is all great because I think there's people that probably think the same as you,
Sure,
for the same reasons.
Somebody be yelling at me right now. That's why.
No, they're probably like, "Oh yeah, Eli is totally right. Those other two guys are wrong."
there's probably just as many people
No,
yelling at
seriously.
me.
That's valid.
saying,
I think it's valid.
Yeah.
you pixie dust and
Past you ain't doing it.
I
but
think it's valid. No, I think you're
but
good. You're good.
I would say, let's say like the Guardians. I would be excited for that. But you're right. I do have a more partial thing. I mean, I'm down for the history and whatnot. But they bought an IP that I have tried to get into since I was a kid. So I am a little more partial to that. And that is something where that land, now of course legally, they can't really do anything in Disney World as opposed to
East of the Mississippi,
the land. Right. I'm consistent
He's
with
talking
that.
about the Universal East of the Mississippi
the
Marvel.
IP stuff.
Yeah,
right.
the Marvel thing that they agreed to. Yeah.
So that's that's a struggle. Now hopefully they overcome that and then maybe something else different happens with that. But anything else that I would experience from that is when you guys say, hey, you want to go on this trip. Be like, all right, well, that's happening. I will do that.
I'm just telling you, like, the only reason I brought that up is because from my vantage point, I've taken a hit in what I'm able to produce monetarily over the last 2 years because of COVID. There's just nothing I can do about it. I cannot generate the money that I used to be able to generate in my business. So I would hope people would look at me and be like, yeah, dude, when this dude's when all cylinders are hitting and everything's running, when this dude has the option to
make something work.
Well, when he has the option to run on a level playing field, it works well. But when you got two hands tied behind your back and you have to run a full race, I mean, you're gonna.
Now, I have mentioned that I've taken that into consideration.
Well, sure.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
all
just
right.
saying 50% was a little low, so that's what I'm saying.
But it's good. I think that it's valid. I think it's an honest reaction, and I want to piggyback on what Danny said. For my reaction is that
I'm off the show now. I was so nice.
No, you're
with
good.
y'all.
No, at first I was like, yeah, I felt this was flat, but given everything that we presented so far, I feel like at this time, based upon the cards that were dealt with, I think they're doing as fine as they can with everything going on.
100%.
And they're trying their best, and I'm giving them that window of 18 months. So I'm curious to see what happens. Given the cards that they've dealt with, I think it's okay. Right now, I think it's going to be okay. It's not great. It's not awesome. I think it's okay for what is going on. And then maybe after that, we'll revisit the show, these series of shows actually, and answer that same question again: is how the 50th went? Because we will do that. I'm gonna give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt with that.
So so my question then is, if they say, "Listen, we need just a little 2 more years," then do you give them that? I know you have said kind of like you've done the window before, but we never really touched on the window after.
But I think this window is more important because of what has happened in previously. So it's like if they're going to start the 50th on October 1st, 2021, and say this is celebrations of the last 18 months, 18 months. I'm totally fine with that. But I'm curious to see at the end of 18 months, let's say in 2024, or post 500 shows, we're post 12 years into the Magic Our Way podcast, we're going to revisit this. We're going to see how the 50th actually went. At this time, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that hopefully they're very close. I gave them 75%. Hopefully they will get to where they were hoping to be without the pandemic happening.
I'm 100% with you on this one, Kevin. I think every Disney celebration has gone about 18 months. That 18 months is the
15,
standard.
18, yes, yeah, absolutely.
Somewhere in that ballpark range. To take 18 and double it and call it 36. I think they deserve the additional months after what they've been through.
I mean, it's out of their control, right?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's business people running the people. Yes, they're all about making money, and they're a lot of greedy people. So look, it's not taken away from the fact that still at the heart of this discussion is whether or not corporate executives will be greedy and will shortchange things in the extent and not give the public the kind of fun experience that they're looking to, where they take that one trip for the 50th and they get to experience everything. That would be great. There is a part of me in my mind that still thinks, I'm like, man, it sucks, but what if this is all just a plan that way we got to come back like 3 times. We got to come back for Ratatouille in the actual 50th. Shoot, but now here comes Guardians of the Galaxy. We got to go back for that. And here comes Tron. We got to come back. Like, would it surprise me? No.
Yeah, but would you do that anyway?
Yes.
Yeah, but we've been saying that about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and whatever else with Seven Dwarfs. Oh man, I gotta go see that. So
that is
that's
true.
smart business.
When New Fantasyland opened, it did open in
Yeah, you're right.
Phases.
You're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. That's totally correct.
Yeah, but when Rise happened, everybody came and like, you got to go on this. So, we had better
that
data.
happened with Smuggler's Run too. So is there an aspect of that I'm fully open to the idea that this isn't all them. I was just like, oh gosh, we're giving you everything we can possibly give you. No, they're doing just fine.
You agree on that?
You
do agree on that the scope of everything, like everything, is really ginormous. Like that's very
huge.
tough. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But no Disney executive is eating at Applebee's.
No.
They're still making enough money.
So they own a few Applebee's.
Exactly. That they're doing just fine. So no, this isn't all poor them and feel sorry and they're doing the best that they can. No, there is some aspect of that to it. I 100% agree. But I'm a little bit more...
You give it
say
some
forgiving?
Forgiving.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And I don't want to diminish anything that Jim and Len said. I'm not doing the show to disparage whatever they had said on that show.
Love Jim Hill.
I love those guys. Those guys are great. I've met them and they're awesome.
And more connected than we are.
Yes, and
Without a doubt.
And that was kind of like sounded like Yoda. It was great. But I wanted to say it was like they raised this question that made me think, and I wanted to really.
I was doing my best not to sound like Past Danny.
I felt Yoda in there. It's like closer to them we are.
Yes,
but anyway, no, I wanted to give them a fair shake because they posed a question that made me think, and I wanted to know: has the 50th really fallen flat? And I don't know, and to be fair, I don't know the parameters that they judged that upon, but I wanted to judge it on our own parameters and the parameters that I've set for this particular show. So with that being said, based upon everything that was announced for the 50th and what we have got, I'm curious to know what you guys think as far as how the 50th celebration goes. And I want you to share that opinion, and we're going to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that discussion about the 50th and whether they delivered based upon what they promised. If you want to learn more about us, magicourway.com is the way to go. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more.
So much more.
Yes. And also, you can get in touch with us to share your opinions. You can do so through a couple of ways. Shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call us, send us a text message at 1-815-WEEKEND. That is 1-815-
Mo Weekend.
That is 669-4226. Also, we have a couple of guys who do things outside the podcast. First of all, we got Eli Does Things with Comics.
Hey, Rob Liefeld here. Deadpool, Cable, X-Force, Domino, Marvel Comics, Image Comics, all of it. You guys, what is up? Eli Ivory. What a great name. Eli Ivory, Comic Guru. I'm here to talk about you. I am here to say, check out ivorycomics.com. That's right, you. Check out ivorycomics.com. ivorycomics.com. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. You're missing out. The Savages comic cannot be beat, cannot be surpassed. You need to check it out, experience it for yourself, and you know the story. It's all about the glory. Congrats to you and all the magic that you're making with your Ivory Comics. Eli Ivory, comic book guru. Check out ivorycomics.com, comic book guru. Eli Ivory, the whole package. Deadpool said to. Do it. ivorycomics.com right now. Liefeld out.
Yeah, thank you, Rob, because after being told I'm the whole package, I might be a solo package after this last discussion.
Come on.
Guys are brutal.
You're fine.
These guys are brutal. Like, you're fine. And it goes off there. Like,
every opinion is welcome on the Magic Hour podcast, so you're good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You can sit on Eli Island by yourself.
No, I'm on the island.
On this, yeah.
I got furloughed one time. I never forgot that.
Be confident.
I made promises.
You're
I made
good.
promises,
You're good.
baby.
You're
I
good,
made
bro.
promises.
We're going to stick you on the ice floe and just
Let it
you out.
go over there.
Yeah.
That's okay, because I'm always hoping that you guys will also check out the site. The link to this podcast with these awesome bunches of guys so you don't miss an episode and insight and who knows what. Future Danny, he might just show up in the book. He may have already made a book. We don't know.
I want to meet this dude.
He has artwork in the book past Danny does.
He sounds like a pretty smart fella.
He is a good fella. He is a good fella.
We're working on the book, New Orleans and Disney. It's happening.
That's it. We've done that. And so look, it's all synergized. And yes, thank you guys who have supported Ivory Comics. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. As well as people that have gone to the link and followed this podcast, never missed a beat, and done the support there. Thank you guys very, very much. It's very awesome. And for those of you that follow me on Facebook at Elijah Ivory, thank you very much. Those who are on the bots, please go away. You're making me nuts. It's terrible. Just really terrible. Now they trying to buy my daddy's house. I'm like, you ain't got no money. You're a bot. I ain't into crypto. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. It's cold out there. Cold out there.
Awesome.
Yeah, Facebook.com/Project Geisha. You can check that out right there. Instagram, EIV504. I'm up on there too. Thank you guys for that. And of course, on Twitter, you can find me at Hancock10166. So if you appreciate the madness, they just bringing me the gladness. Thank you very much. I'm going to go furlough myself right on the other side here.
There you go.
Mhm.
And look, if you want to book a vacation to experience the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World yourself and give us your opinions, you could do so through Lee. Lee, tell them how to do this.
All right. So just give me a call at 832-431-1621. That's 832-McGiblets. 832-MCG. No, J. JBLTS.
G. No, it's G. It's G.
G? Yeah.
GIBLIETS.
Don't matter. No one's listening at this point. Email me at lee@magicourway.com.
Except for Kirk. Kirk's the only one listening.
Facebook.com. Facebook.com/Lastovica Travel. That's LASTOVICA Travel. Instagram, you got a friend in Lee Travel. Finally, TikTok, you got a friend in Lee. And if you do any of that, we'll get you hooked up and booked up with No.
McGiblet-a-Vika.
In addition, guys, there's so many ways to support the show as a whole, and you can find them all on our website, magicourway.com. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today.
Wait, can I just say something real quick? Can y'all please be a Patreon, because I'm on my second set of headphones here and they're terrible.
Oh, they're not working?
Yeah, these headphones like glitch out.
Oh, I got
all of a sudden here like
new ones, yeah.
You're talking and like it goes in and out, and this is the second pair of headphones we're falling apart here at the Magic Our Way podcast.
We need some new gear.
And we got some great patrons, and they help us out with our fees and all the things we need to pay for in order to keep the show going, but we need some new. I mean, we're getting old over here. Like what Tina over there is like collecting Social Security. She's so old, right?
She's got Social Security. She's got retirement happening,
pension.
So we need some of that, man. Look, patreon.com/Magic Our Way to get Danny some new headphones.
Please,
because we definitely need it.
I need my
for any of you guys that happen to visit New Orleans, we'll invite you in the studio. You want some good headphones too.
And you'll see what we're talking about, the dire state we're in.
Yes,
absolutely. Really dire, very dire.
Man, support us, dude. And look, all of your opinions are always welcome to Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, Mohegans, we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
I have every intention of eating those bananas for breakfast, but I still somehow end up with tacos.
Water tacos.
Nice.
That's well done.
You know what, Eli?
What?
It doesn't matter where I am, but I always have Mad Hatter Radio with me.
That's it. It's all about the Mad Hatter Radio heart.
It is, man. I have it always with me. When I'm at work,